we go. Now we're vertical. Music. Dude, that. Washing machines. What the fuck? I've got the black long paw. Yeah, no, we should make an emote for that, Archie. Let me make it so they can hear you. Now it's us and everybody. What's up, everybody? How we doing? How do you do, motherfuckers? We got Patrick and Austin in the chat, Henry in the chat, the greatest Fallout William, Crazy Boy. We got Zine Sooner. We got Moonlord. Zero is back. Welcome back, Crazy Boy. Imperial Red. Got a new Crazy Boy following on Twitch. Thank you very much. I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Welcome. Jay is in the chat. What up, William? Did I say hi to you already? Well, you get 2 highs. Deal with it. Ronaldo, Mitchell, welcome. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We were like prepared and ready to go. This is like the more prepared I've been. This is feeling good. Archie's coming in, helping out, getting us. Yeah, he's the assist man. Coming in with the assist.
Yeah. Something along those lines.
I'm gonna move Kick over here. I can see what I got going on over there. If there's any viewers or whatever. I don't think I'm gonna really get anything over there, but it's gonna turn it on just because. There we go. pause a lot of these. There we go. We don't need these all running. There we go. Baby Twitch. You're back from your Central American trip. Welcome back. How'd it go? I haven't been this high since I listened to the Lighthouse family. Damn. How do you feel about... Okay, he almost got me. Hi, do you know Sonic? You? Do I know Sonic? Yeah. No, dude. Me and him race all the time. What are you talking about? ZVR, what's up, man? I see you in the chat. Sent me a Discord showing me lighting. Okay. I just... Oh, look. Yeah, the lighting looks good. Okay. Yeah, it's just a little bit brighter on my screen than it is yours, I guess. Probably, yeah, even on the Elgato screen. So I think it looks good. It's a good balance. If they have a dimmer screen, then it still looks all right. And if it's a little bit more on the brighter end, it still looks all right. Cool. We're like thinking, dude, we're like overthinking. It's me. I'm overthinking it. I'm trying to like think of like all the different kinds of screens that people are watching on and like what their dimnesses are and shit. Trying to like find a perfect balance. I'm just like overthinking it, but I want it to look good. You know, I want it to look good. I have pride in my work, man. I want it to look good, so I can't help it. Sonic is a blue guy. Oh yeah, I know all about him. Yeah. Your short videos are great, brother. Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate you. Need to let's see, where did that go? Here it is. Nice. We got a bunch of people showing up. That's what I'm talking about. I guess we could start with the Caroline Levitt, but it's like 40 minutes. We won't start with that. We'll stick with the plan. Warm-ups. Well, that is a warm-up. Fuck. I'll put it the last of them. Here we go. Cash popping in the chat. What's up, motherfucker? I'm cross-eyed. No, I'm not, dude. Stop. Eat a 10 of ranch beans. Ranch beans. And fart box your room. Ranch beans. Are those the good ones that like give you the good? Yeah, that's. Are those the jar fillers? The ranch beans. It's your favorite snack? Fucking Japanese A5 Wagyu. Cooked medium rare with flaky sea salt. That's it. Yeah. No, that, dude. 100%. If you haven't had it, bro. If you're ever around me, let's go get some. It's amazing. Max out my brightness on Steam Deck and you're nice and clear. Thanks, man. Yeah. I was just like trying to get it perfect. And my setup for stream is different lighting than my videos. And I think that I actually just made my stream look better. So I have to copy the settings over for making videos. All right. Are we ready to get this started? What's up, Archie? Talk to us.
Oh, I was going to say I'm going to do some moderating from the guy that's just spamming fart in the chat.
There, okay.
I actually do my job.
There, yeah, okay, yeah. Thanks for modding. I might as well, you know. I was just letting them say fart. Fuck it, dude. Until I don't know.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, but if you got to a point where it annoys you, then I say send it. I was just like, whatever. I don't care. I try to get myself in this place when I go live to really embrace not giving a shit. You know, it's like my fucking, this is my meditation time. And I really, it's therapeutic too, bro. Because like when you go live, you need to not let things bother you, right? I've been doing this shit for years. So now like when I go live, that's like my most not give a shit time of the day. Because I have to get myself in that place because you can't let all this shit bother you, bro. You know, I've been doing this too long to let it bother me. So my defense mechanism is just not give a fuck, dude. And it feels so good. It's therapeutic, I swear. It's like I never thought of it as like, this is why I do this, but it's definitely a benefit. It's a unexpected side effect of streaming for a long period of time. You can enter these places of really having like the ultimate thick skin, and like people say things and you're just there and you're just like, whatever, you know, like it feels good because you can't always, like, I don't know, I wish I could do that all day. That'd be nice. I don't know, but I like turn it on when we go live. Imperial Red's Central American trip went well. He's readjusting to American food. Ugh. Are you shitting yourself instantly when you come back to America after eating a bunch of like stuff that doesn't have all the good shit in it? I mean, yeah, I know it's not good for you, but it's the good shit, bro. Oh my God, it makes it taste so much better. What? Archie, British motherfucker?
That's actually true. That's true. When I get back from America, that's what happens.
You just shit yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
You start putting normal food in you, and the normal food is like, get that fucking out, bro. You need to go back to like no flavors. I'll always I love England. I've been there a couple times, but I'll always shit on how bad they are at food. Holy fuck, dude. Step up your game. Bro, you lost Gordon Ramsay. You gave him to us? The fuck was that fumble? What?
He's Scottish. He's not English.
I don't care. Same thing.
Yeah, fair. Oh right? God, say that to a Scotsman and you will. That is gonna end very badly for you, my friend.
Yeah, they're way more aggressive. I noticed. I like it. I actually like them better than you guys just because of that. They're so much more fun. Yeah, they're way more American than you guys are.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah. I actually agree with that. I think a lot of America's more drawn from like Ireland and Scotland, like in terms of how they are, than England necessarily.
Yeah.
No, there's so many immigrants in those places.
You know, the way I actually really look at things like that is I see like, it's kind of like having different things. Like, you don't have to say like, okay, hamburgers are my favorite, so therefore that's the only thing I like. You can say like, I like hamburgers, but I also like quesadillas, but I also like a fucking good salad, you know? I love oatmeal. And you can just like love a variety of things for different reasons instead of like holding them up. Like, which one is the ultimate one that is your favorite? I'm gonna call out my wife. She does that shit, bro. She'll be like, this is my favorite thing. She always has to rank like, it's good, but it's not as good as my favorite thing in the world. Right? It's like, well, of course it's not as good as your favorite thing in the world. Is it good though? Like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the way like, okay, they're way more American, you guys, but like everyone in the world, all these different cultures, they have like a different fucking thing, you know, that's their thing. Like you guys are like white Japanese people, except you're way dirtier and rude, a little bit more rude.
Well, it depends on who, like the lower end, yes, but I think most people are. It's more passive aggressive than rude. We're not necessarily rude. We're very passive.
Compared to Japanese, it's rude.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair.
Yes.
Compared with Japanese people.
That's what I mean. Yeah, compared to Japanese, because they're like super polite, like hyper polite, right? So you're like white Japanese, just a little bit more rude.
Yeah.
Because like passive aggressive is still rude to them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disrespectful, you know? Hit a push-up? Bro, we want me to do a push-up? What are you trying to do? Crack the fucking earth? Huh?
$5 super chat. He does a push-up, guys. $5.
You just threw me under the bus. You're gonna make me have to do it. Because someone's gonna do it, bro. And now I have to do a fucking push-up. No fucking motherfucker. I don't want to break the earth. Should we get started? Should we do this? What's the first thing we got? What's this?
Yeah. That's it.
The immigration authorities detain family of man charged. Oh, this. Okay. Yep. I got to pause the tunage. Stream marker. We have an update on yesterday's story for those who have been following. Let's change scenes here. Bam. There we go. We should just go ahead and jump into it.
Yeah.
I'm still just kind of vibing from the chat. It's fun. It's kind of a weird second. Okay, now to the news. So yesterday, or it was actually 2 days ago now, there's that dude that was like burning up a bunch of Jews. They're trying to burn up all the Jews at a gathering in Boulder on Pearl Street. I've been here many times. It's literally 30 minutes from me. It's a fun place to go. You skateboard around and stuff, and then it's just a bunch of like pedestrians walking around in this area outside, and street performers and stuff. You know, there's always a riot going down there. It's a fun place where like just everyone goes. And then there's this motherfucker lighting motherfuckers on fire. So we have an update. And that is what's our update, Archie? Talk to me. I have this link here. What's the big update?
He has so it turns out that like the reason he didn't use, so part of it is he didn't use the 14 cocktails he had, I believe he only used 2 or 3 because he said to the police that he'd never hurt anyone before and he felt scared to use them all, and that was why he didn't, and it wasn't much worse. He had originally planned to kill a whole group of them standing together, like immediately light them on fire from where they were, but he didn't end up going through with it.
So he basically he went there and then he saw like himself hurting people and he's like, fuck. And they started like regretting it, but he's also still sending it. So he just started yelling instead. But he's like, shit, I don't like hurting people. I don't want to do this anymore after he did it.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah, at least that's his story to the police.
His story.
I mean,
okay,
whether,
sure.
How true that is.
That's okay.
Is not for debate.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, that makes sense. You know, I mean, I could believe that. Like, you know, like he's radicalized or whatever, and he wants to go, you know, because he hates I know you disagree with it, but I see it as he hates Jewish people.
He's definitely radicalized. I agree with that.
He hates the Jews. That's what I see. It's what I see, bro. I know, like, whatever, that aside, but he hates the Jews, and he went over there and he was finally going to do what he was always fantasizing in his head. And then we saw the violence in front of him. He's like, fuck, this is fucked up. But also, he's in so deep. So, like, what is he gonna do? I don't know.
You got. I mean, if you're gonna get in that situation, you have to do something. You can't just like,
That's crazy, man.
You know, what he did was still a terrible thing. I don't think it excuses it, but
no excuse. I'm just trying to like, if I'm gonna listen to what he's saying and try and like think it through, like that sounds believable. That could be true. Again, like you said, he could be just. I mean, it's just what he's saying. The truth could be something different. But
as it says on the screen, it says on the screen there when he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again. So he kind of chickened out, but he also wanted them all to die. It's a bit convoluted.
Yeah, maybe like doing the violence, right? It makes him like he's. It's like, you know, like I can't do it, you know. But like, if someone else did it for him, or he didn't have to look or something, he'd be perfectly fine with it. Maybe that's what it is. Right? It's like getting like an ick from the violence, but still being angry and wanting people to die. You know, I don't know. And this like it was just 2 weeks ago. So okay, so that's the big update on this guy is just kind of what he's like his his
just
side
like
of the story is
about the police and
he hates
and,
the Zionists,
how the interviews are going on.
The Zionist group. He targeted what he described as a Zionist group.
He planned the attack for a year. It says there. And wait until his daughter graduated to conduct the attack.
Oh, that's fucked up, dude. Now his daughter is gonna have to like fucking live with the shame of it. And this, I mean, who knows? I don't know what her views are.
She might have been arrested. It says that his family were arrested, so maybe that includes his daughter. Yeah. They've all been arrested. I'm pretty sure.
Left the iPhone hidden in a desk drawer in his Colorado Springs home to contain messages. So he's from Colorado Springs. So he drove up to Boulder. Colorado Springs is much further from Boulder than I am. Colorado Springs is like an hour drive. I think like an hour drive from me. So maybe like an hour and a half drive from Colorado Springs to Boulder. That's what I'm assuming. About an hour and a half drive. So that's a great distance he had to go to pull off this attack.
Maybe he was looking to escape. Maybe that shows a sign that he wasn't fully committed to go to jail for this. I don't know. But he seemed like he didn't try and run, but it shows that maybe that was in his mind in the back of it.
So where does it say that his daughter was arrested?
At the top, right at the top, it says
wife and 5 children of an Egyptian man accused of taken into custody. Okay, so that's not arrested; they're just in custody.
Okay,
they're being held for questioning until. So there's laws and many states. I don't know the exact specifics. This is where I wish we had Jimmy in here because he's a cop. He knows these things. But taken in the custody. So and oftentimes they can hold you for like a certain amount of hours. I think it probably differs by state, but I think that some states, you know, like maybe it's 48 hours. Other states it might be less. But that's kind of what they can do, especially when something like this happens, and it gives them time to kind of hold you, stop you from doing anything crazy, and figure out what the fuck is going on. And I mean, it's extreme and it sucks, especially if you're an innocent person and this happens to you, which it does happen. So maybe these the wife and 5 children are innocent. I don't know. You know, I have no fucking way of knowing. But if they were, it's totally sucks, right? But I understand it as a necessary thing for, you know, the realities of the world and how dangerous it is. And sometimes people do shit like try and light a bunch of fucking Jews on fire, the fucking napalm or whatever he has, a little Molotov cocktails. Molotov cock jugs, bro. Those things are huge. Is there a picture of him holding that thing? Where is that? Oh, here's the video right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. These things were kind of big. They didn't look, I mean, they look small enough to yeet, like, at the distance between the cameraman and where he's at. And he doesn't look like, you know, he's not fat and like fucking like I am, dude. This guy does push-ups, unlike me. So he could probably eat those fucking things. Yeah, this cameraman's kind of in eating range. I wouldn't stand there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. They're all just standing around. He's got 2 Molotov cocktails in his hands. Like, get away. Like,
Yeah, I
walk
know.
away or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Do something, please.
Get the fuck out
Stop
of there.
him or walk
Yeah.
away.
They gotta
something.
see. They gotta look, bro. They gotta see. You can't not look away, you know? I mean, it's human nature. That's why they slow down on the highway when there's a wreck, bro. They can't help it. Some fucking dude has to look. They have to look, dude. They gotta see. Yeah, it's curiosity. Human curiosity, man.
Yeah, but with that type of stuff, it's play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know, like that's not a great method for living.
I mean, they're fine, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, they are now.
Their gamble paid off. They got to fucking watch, and they didn't get hurt. Now they have a story, bro. You know, like this. Fuck, dude. That's a good dinner story right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shit.
to be honest.
I don't know, dude. People are fucking weird. They just can't. They have to look. I'm not even get mad because I can just understand. People gotta look. They can't help it. They can help but look. All right.
I would look, but from a greater distance. I feel like further away.
What's this next thing? Let's see. You sent this is the Bono thing.
Yes. So yeah, Bono and Joe Rogan went at it over how many deaths Doge has caused and the cuts to USA.
Bro, I bet this guy smells all kinds of farts all day long and believes all kinds of stupid ass shit. All right, and we all smell a little bit of fucking farts sometimes, even against our will. All right, sometimes it's totally like not wanted, and somebody just walks on by and fucking farts, and you smell it. This guy on purpose smells farts all day long. Okay, this guy is fucking rich. This guy has no fucking clue what like your fucking average person has to go through, and he hasn't known that in like fucking 40 years. He has no clue. All right, he's just been incredibly wealthy, like partnered with like Apple type of wealthy. This guy is just insane generational levels of wealth, and nothing against that, right? I mean, I want to be that rich, bro. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I'd love to be that rich. All right, I'm just saying this guy doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and the only thing he has is these weird talking heads on fucking television that are getting paid by fucking, the dumbass commercials to
just
say
recent report.
I don't know. This guy doesn't know what the fuck. We got to watch this guy. Let's listen. Here we go.
Just recent report. It's not proven, but the surveillance enough suggests 300,000 people have already died from just this cut off, this hard cut of USAID. So there's food rotting in boats, in warehouses. There is this will fuck you off. You will not be happy. No American will. But there is, I think it's 50,000 tons of food that are stored in Djibouti, South Africa, Dubai, and wait for it, Houston, Texas. And that is rotting rather than going to Gaza, rather than going to Sudan, because the people who know the codes or for the warehouse are fired. They're gone. And so this, I don't know. What do you think? What is that? That's not America, is it?
Well, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Right. This is the problem. The problem is, for sure, there have been a lot of organizations that do tremendous good all throughout the world.
Sure.
Also, for sure, it was a money laundering operation. For sure, there was no oversight. For sure, billions of dollars are missing. In fact, trillions that are unaccounted for, that were sent off into various... They don't even know where because there's no receipts. The way Elon Musk described it, he said if any of this was done by a public company, the company would be delisted and the executives would be in prison. But in the United States, this is standard. When Biden left office, when it was clear that Trump won, in the 73 days, they spent $93 billion from the Department of Energy on just radical loans, just throwing money into places.
Right.
And there's no oversight, no receipts. Like the
I think it's going to be a big mixture of both, right? So what he's saying is what Elon Musk said. And I mean, Elon Musk, I think that he actually genuinely tried to do good with Doge, and I'm glad that it exists and it'll continue to exist. And I think they got a rude awakening with how hard it is to get shit done in government when you can't just fucking make shit happen like you can in a company. You just tell someone to do something they have to do. If they don't, they're fucking fired. Like, it doesn't always work that way with government. And and I think that if there's there's definitely going to be, like, when you're trying to figure out cutting all this stuff, there's going to be like collateral damage as well. And I always thought that it was going to be messy, but I also think that it's still necessary to push forward. And I've always said that if something gets cut that shouldn't be, we need to have the ability to identify that and fix it. You know, we have to make it right as best as we can when we make a mistake. But the things that we should be cutting, we should be cutting. I don't know. That's just kind of the way I see it. I feel like Bono is like he's like, he means well and he wants to do the right thing. He wants to, you know, he means well for the world and all that kind of stuff. But like, he's trapped in like I don't know, a bubble of just believing that the worst horrible things are happening, you know, and like people are dying all over the world, you know, because of USA cuts. And it's just like sensationalism to like win at politics. That's all that stuff is. And there's people like Bono that are getting sucked into it. And it pisses me off because, like, bro, like, you don't fucking know what you're talking about. You're a gifted wordsmith. Thank you. I appreciate it. Archie, what's your thoughts? What's your take on this? Are you on the other side?
I'm on. Oh, sorry, I can hear myself echoing in your Discord, so I can't think.
Oh, am I streaming on Discord?
Side, yeah, but it's helping because it's seeing me. It's
mute it.
Helping me see what you're looking at.
Just mute it.
Yeah, it's muted now.
All right.
It's muted now. So, yeah, I'm sort of on the same side as you, but from the other side. I mean, but yeah, the same side. I think that it's every government's duty to get rid of, you know, money that's going to places it shouldn't. I think that's very important. But yeah, to deal with corruption. But with this, yeah, I just basically, bottom line, I probably agree with you. Like, probably I would have been more careful when making these cuts to make sure that didn't happen. I think it should have been done on.
It was
on a
aggressive.
time frame and
it was very aggressive. Yeah.
Like, I sort of see it from your side, except I would have been more lenient and I would have given these cuts a longer time frame and maybe even sloped them off instead of cutting them immediately. There were better ways to do this because a lot of people now have been left with nothing. You know, that is, I don't think it's Elon Musk's direct fault, but it is a consequence of the action of doing this much. Like, there are, like, all these cuts, there were going to be consequences somewhere. You couldn't just get all this money for nothing. And I think a balance has to be struck between still going towards the right causes and also making sure that your government isn't getting, you know, having corruption in it and people aren't having their hands out.
I have a comment I want to read here. It's from Jesus Crust. He says, we should listen to Bonnie because oh wait, hold on. Where was it? We shouldn't listen to Bonnie because he's a rock star, but we should listen to you because you're wearing a sleeveless shirt. I actually think that's a fair ass comment. Bro, listen to whoever the fuck you want, man. I'm just some fucking dude talking and people are tuning in or not tuning in. You know, I'm not fucking gospel, bro. I'm not saying I know the whole everything. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just watching this stuff and looking at it just like anyone else is. But I'm like, the reason why you're watching is the same reason why I'm watching. Maybe we think different. Maybe I'm seeing it differently than you, but like, I don't know. See it however you want. Listen to whoever you want. So, but that's a fair comment. You know, like, I mean, it sounds like it was like it coming from a place of trying to be mean spirited, but it's actually like not wrong, you know. Listen to whoever the fuck you want, bro. Who am I? Just some fucking dude wearing those sleeves, bro. You know why I wear no sleeves? Because it makes me more aerodynamic when I fight. That's why. All right, I'm prepared.
Dr. Waffles says, I love listening to non-Americans talk about American politics. Stan is an American. He's a veteran. Okay, so shut up.
No, maybe he's talking about
just a
you.
Non-American.
He's talking about your
but
ass, probably. Yeah.
He said Americans. He said multiple. I assumed he meant me and you, but yeah, he might just be speaking about just me. I mean, fair enough, guys. But I'm moving to America, so you know.
Yeah, because you want some more rights, bitch. You don't got enough rights over there. You want more rights? Come over here, bro. We got them rights. You want some rights, bro? We got rights. You know, we losing them every day, but we got rights more than you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, stream marker. Next thing. Let's keep going. This is a good warm up. I like it. Warm up's a good idea. So smart, bro. Glad to have you aboard. That was a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Wait, so Donald Trump wants to use what to enforce the border? Violent, bizarre, potentially unstoppable, unreal. Okay, let's see what he's really saying.
They're the absolute worst group of people we've got in our country, and it's not.
Shut up! I'm playing a video.
They're the absolute worst.
Shut up! I'm playing a video.
They're the absolute worst group of people we've got in our country, and it's not even close. I think we'd all be better off with them gone. But as I was saying, my administration and I have been taking careful note of the work of Colossal Labs, the biotech company that resurrected the dire wolf. If they can bring back wolves, they can bring back dinosaurs. Terrible lizard. That's what dinosaur means if you break it down. But picture this, folks. Velociraptor. Mounted Border Patrol agents.
Whoa. This is some AI shit. You gave me some AI shit.
Pterodactyls patrolling the skies, velociraptors on the ground.
Oh, my God.
To prevent the immigration apocalypse we may have to counter with a dino-apocalypse, folks. It's true.
It took me a second. I'm like, what the fuck is he saying? And then I started listening to his voice. I'm like, that shit is fucking robot. That's a robot. 100%. Dude, okay. It got me, dude. The AI shit's gonna it's not gonna stop here. It's gonna keep going. So now I get it. This guy's just memeing. Donald Trump said, what? Unreal. You know? Violent, bizarre, potentially unstoppable. Unreal. I thought this person was like complaining about Trump or something because I'm so used to seeing it. But nah, dude, that's funny. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a good addition.
Bro, I'm going to give that to you guys in the chat here. You guys can have a link to this one if you want to go check it out. This is a funny tweet. There you go. I'll put it in all the chats. Oh, speaking of links, I'm going to link to my Twitch. You guys want to watch over there?
I've already pinned the link to your Twitch. Pinned it on the.
Oh, you did? Okay, I have a different way of doing it. Because I just put the link.
I'll go for it.
Because then it's just clickable right away without having to click and then click.
Yep.
Makes sense? Yeah, there you see. Look, that one's clickable. Bam. It's like my first rodeo, you know what I'm saying? All right. What's the next one?
Guys, come watch on the Twitch if you want a full stream. You want the
it's also widescreen on YouTube too. So if you want to, like, whatever you want to watch on. A view's a view. Like, it all adds up in the end for me.
To be fair.
Is this more about the guy?
No, this is Jonathan Joss. So this is the actor. The actor, he was shot. Voice actor, he was shot dead. He's the guy that's the voice of somebody.
That's right.
I'm not really familiar with his work.
Oh, he was the voice of like the Indian guy.
Yeah, and he was in Parks and Recreation as well as an actor. But yeah, he was shot dead, and his boyfriend says it was a homophobic attack, but the police haven't found that. So that's what it goes into.
Here we go. This is it right here. Let me see if I can hear me move vertical stream over real quick. Hold on. I got you guys. Don't worry. I'm thinking about you. All right. I'm not forgetting. All right. Pro streamer. All right. I know what's going on. This guy right here is an Indian on King of the Hill. So he's gay, and his boyfriend that he's living with saying that it was, you know, the killing was motivated off of that, but Archie's saying that the cops haven't found that yet. That's where it's at. But that's just, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. That sucks. They just brought back King of the Hill. They just brought it back. I just watched the thing on it. That's crazy that this just happened. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me look up King of the Hill revival. Here it is. Joe, let's check this out. Okay, hold on. We might as well check this out while we're on the subject. So they just brought this shit back.
Yeah.
Look at this. They just announced this like 2 days ago. I was going to make a short on it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. There's other things to cover. This is the new intro. Oh, now they're going through COVID? Huh. That's interesting. Politics. Matching. Oh, shit, he's all grown up. That's awesome. Dude, I gotta see that. Oh, this is gonna be good. King of the Hill is really good. I think you'd like it, Archie. It's very American.
Yeah,
if you want American shit, that is American shit, bro. Watch it. It's not like lefty, righty or anything. It's just kind of like a realization of everything, you know, fairly. It's, you know, like I like Mike Judge. He's the guy that made this stuff. He did Beavis and Butthead. Like, he's done a bunch of good stuff. Well, that sucks that homeboy died.
Jonathan Joss even has lines recorded in there, so it's gonna be his last work that comes out.
Oh shit! Well, at least it's King of the Hill. So
yeah, it's good ending, I guess. From what
you know what they should do is AI his voice so they can give him a proper send off, or they could keep him forever. Yep.
Yeah.
How about that,
there's
Archie?
definitely enough voice lines for that.
How about
that
we...
would be cool. I think that's awesome, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually do too. I thought it pissed you off.
No, I think that's actually quite a cool thing to do, especially if they've already been in the series. Like, maybe not long term, but like as in if it like he was brought up in a completely new series and they used his voice. I mean, even so, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'd have to think some more. What does chat think? About using dead AI voices.
Dead AI voices? I mean,
yeah.
You know,
dead actors.
Idiocracy. Oh yeah, I made the movie Idiocracy. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, Archie. Have you seen that, bro? Okay, no. You'd really like that one. You got to watch Idiocracy. It's I'll give you the premise. So new follower. They say that the dumber people have more kids and the smart people wait too long and then they end up not being able to have kids, while the dumb people are having like 20 fucking kids per family. Okay, and they just spread like crazy. So over time, as population gets bigger, the amount of dumber people far outweighs the smarter people until the smarter people basically like depopulate to non-existence, and the only genes that are being spread are of dumb people. And then hundreds of years or thousands of years go by, and everyone's like really stupid to the point where they're like watering crops with Gatorade and shit, you know. And
I've seen that movie. Yes, like with Woody Harrelson, or no, what's his name? The blonde guy's brother, Luke, whatever. Luke.
I don't think. I'm not sure.
The main guy, and it's the brother of the guy that does all the films with Ben Stiller.
I think he might be in some of those. I'm not sure. But it has Camacho in it. Remember that guy? He's like fucking. He's the president, big buff black dude. Played by Terry Crews.
Yeah. Luke Wilson. Owen Wilson's brother.
They're brothers?
Yeah. They're brothers.
I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's weird. That's
weird,
true? Isn't it?
That is weird. I never knew.
I'm very sure. Let me have a look. I'll just double check, but I'm 99% sure they are.
No way.
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
Yeah, they literally are.
That's I never knew. That's mind blowing. Wow.
They look
Luke
different,
Wilson.
don't they?
No, you know what? Kind of in a way that I get it. Like they're something like even their vocal cords are similar. Like there's softer spoken people. Should I do this press secretary or go right into Bonnie Blue?
I think we go. I mean, you could give the start of it a watch.
Let's check it out. Let's see what. Let's watch this. Let's see how interested live stream is on the press conference.
Good. It's good
this
to
is
see
the
all of
first
you. I want to start
like news really in the past few days. Trump's been pretty quiet for the last few days.
Right. Yeah.
This is
So
the proper press conference.
Yeah. Ever since they did the operation with the drones that came out of the trucks and then bombed all of the Russian planes and shit.
A new follower.
Hey, thank you guys for following on Twitch. I appreciate you. So ever since that attack happened, which like destroyed a big portion of Russia's fleet, pissing Putin off, and it's a very expensive blow. It's not good. It's not something that doesn't sting. That hurts, or it's not something that, it hurts a lot. Okay, so
it was in the billions.
Yeah, it's in the billions of dollars of losses, and Trump has been not live. He streams like every day almost, right? He doesn't stream on the weekends usually. Sometimes he does. But usually Monday through Friday, that motherfucker's going live, signing executive orders, trolling the press, answering questions and shit. Not the past 2 days. I know, because like when Trump is live, I want to go live, bro. I want those juicy Trump views. All right? Don't get it mistaken. But he hasn't been live. And, so now, me and Archie, we've been having to talk about other things when we go live, but that's okay because we're doing a great job making videos. But I think Trump's busy. So this is like the first like real like televised response to what's going on, and it's through her. Hopefully soon we hear more from the man himself, maybe tomorrow, sometime this week. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting to see what's happening. But I the one thing I don't want is World War III, but this is like, it feels like we're inching closer every day.
Start by addressing the
He's given a bit of a reaction to it. Sorry to interrupt the video, but he's given a bit of a reaction to it, which we'll be seeing later in the stream, guys. If you want to see Trump's reaction, it's coming later in this stream. Like second topic-ish.
Shut up. Let me play the thing. Yeah, okay, hold on. Where is it?
Took place on Sunday in Boulder, Colorado. President Trump and the entire administration's hearts go out to the victims, and they are in our prayers during this unimaginable time. According to reporting from Fox News, the alleged attacker admitted in an interview that he wanted to kill all Zionist people and had been planning the attack for over a year and would do it again if he could. This monster used a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails to light Jewish Americans on fire in an attempt to burn them alive. The victims at the incident location in Boulder were there to rally in support of Israeli hostages who remain in Hamas captivity. 12 were injured, including a Holocaust survivor. This is pure evil. The Department of Justice has already filed federal hate crime charges against the alleged perpetrator, and he will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. This tragedy is a sobering reminder of the consequences of the Biden administration's failed policies. According to the Department of Homeland Security, the Boulder suspect is an Egyptian national who was in the United States illegally. He entered the U.S. during the Biden administration in August 2022 on a B-2 visa until it expired. Upon the visa expiration, he overstayed, filed an asylum claim, and was given a work authorization by the Biden administration. Instead of deporting this heinous individual, Joe Biden...
Anytime they could shit on Joe, bro, like it's like clockwork. Which I don't give a shit. I don't like the guy. It's just an observation. Like it's like clockwork. Just pound, shit on Joe Biden. Everything is his fault. Shit on Joe Biden. Which, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I think he fucked up all kinds of things. So a lot of it's probably right, but not all of it. It's a bit, it's so much. It's like, well, it can't all be, Biden. I don't know. Maybe like the direction of the government, I think is like under Biden's, but is it really Biden's fault or some mysterious fucking shadow figure telling Biden what to do? I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Like, whatever, like we still don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's just funny how everyone plays it.
Administration,
and I say that as a righty, I want my side to win, but it's like I see how both sides are playing it all the time. And it's always a bit much and comical. I always have to point it out, like this thing, but that the Biden administration, like it's always, it's the procedure. It's all procedure at this point.
Allowed him to stay in our country and to work. President Trump sounded the alarm over these reckless Biden policies for years because this is the predictable result of letting anti-American radicals and illegal immigrants pour into our country. Immigration security is national security. And that's why the Trump administration, at the direction of our great president, has secured our border, strengthened our immigration system.
It was the White House aides running the country. Bro, I mean, I've heard all kinds of stuff. I'm not sure what is true, but I've heard all kinds of things. That's one that I've heard recently, but I still say at the end of the day, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I know what people are saying. I know, I've heard the same things that you've heard. But I don't know if it's true, but I know something fucking shady went down. I know that. I could tell my instincts are telling me something that's not right went down with like who was in charge and making everything happen. And like he's fried. There's no way. So if the president is fried, but the government is running, who's choosing shit? Somebody was.
And has taken
I think he
immediate
still had
steps
his initial
to
like
protect the United
ideas.
States from
Oh,
foreign
sorry.
terrorists.
No, here we go. Let's hear it. Let's go.
I think he still had his like initial like reason he got into politics. His core values would have still been there with him, no matter how much dementia you get.
He did it to get rich, bro. That guy, dude, he's so rich. He's so fucking rich, and all his family is so rich, bro. Imagine being Hunter Biden, right? Everyone shits on Hunter Biden, bro. That guy's like the best life. His dad was a president, and he just gets to do coke in the fucking Oval Office. Hell yeah, dude, that's rad. Get a fucking ticket, or like, yeah, he drove to Vegas like going like almost 200 miles per hour in a super expensive car, did all kinds of crazy hardcore drugs. That guy's living his best life, bro. He's like, and he can't. He's not even allowed to get in trouble. Like if you know what I mean? That sounds kind of rad. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, and I said I'm a righty, bro. I'm a righty, but come on, doesn't that sound rad, bro? Just like fucking do whatever it's like he's playing GTA.
He does get away with a lot.
Yeah. So you think Biden was running things?
I think that he was the main director, but I think that he probably definitely had a lot more help and assistance in tasks.
So what does that mean? What kind of decisions are those that only impact the entire fucking planet?
I think
who are those people picking that shit that we don't know who it is if we didn't fucking elect them? We didn't elect those motherfuckers. Who is they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when Trump goes like live and he's saying, "Here's everything we're doing," it sounds like something he and his team all kind of workshopped together. It's not like everything's birthing out of Trump's head, but him and like the smartest, most loyal dudes he could put together are workshopping their ideas, and then like Trump is there while it's all kind of being put together, and he's informed on what it is that like the mission is, on what we're doing. I don't feel like Biden was there. I think that if you asked him like all different types of things, like who's doing what, he wouldn't have hardly any accountability on that. He wouldn't know what the fuck's going on. That's what I think, dude. I seriously believe that. Like I don't think that he was really like doing shit, man. It's because he's
the
like
worst
he can't
part,
talk.
I mean, whoever was doing things, I think that I actually disagree that Biden was a horrific president. I think he was a mediocre president. I don't think he was especially great. I don't think he was especially terrible. There were some good things that he brought in.
I agree with that. Yeah, he's mid as fuck. He's a mid as fuck president. There's nothing special about him. I think that the worst aspect is how much fucking money that he spent. Like I said, like you lefties are so bad at money. You're terrible.
If you believe Elon Musk, Trump's on course to spend $2.5 billion this year.
I don't like that shit.
The bill gets through.
Yeah, no, we need to spend less money.
Yeah,
everyone wants efficiency. So if that's if it's against efficiency, because I'm almost like more loyal to fucking Elon than Trump. Trump's cool and everything. He's a hilarious president, but Elon seems like more like he wants to save the fucking world, dude. You know what I mean? That's kind of like maybe he's got an ego, right? And I think someone like that probably needs one. But I don't know. I think he's like fuck it, dude. I'm like what's the next thing to achieve? He's achieved becoming the richest man in the world. Like what's next?
Yeah.
He has a rocket company. He's trying to get to Mars and shit. Like this fucking real, That's pretty cool. He's like a modern day Christopher Columbus. He's like a super Christopher Columbus.
I think it's like means to an end. Like he's getting in more ties with the government. That's going to allow him to get more shit done with his rockets. It's going to allow him to get more contracts for Tesla, etc. Like it was a good thing for him. And I think he also actually does believe in the changes that he was making. He doesn't strike me as a man that's doing things. He benefited from it. He definitely did benefit from it in some ways. In other ways,
fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. If he didn't, I'd be pissed. Bro, we need to give this man more resources. Give him more. Give Elon more resources. No, dude, if there's someone that I'm going to trust with it, it's Elon. I know people that like is nails on chalkboard to certain people, but not to me, dude. I think the dude's like, I think that if we have to like fucking have someone be in charge of trying to efficiently achieve something, like he's gotten pretty far with his rockets, man. All right, people take for granted. We didn't have self-landing, vertically landing fucking rockets before SpaceX. That shit did not happen. We'd make these big, expensive rockets that we dump in the fucking ocean, you know, one use only. That's what we did. And he's like, bro, he came with business plan. He's like, they need to be reusable so the price goes down. Needs to go down because business, we need to profit. So like actually trying to achieve lowering the price mattered, you know, and he was able to make these rockets that fit that. Anyways, let's see what else. Dude, we paused at like a really funny moment. Anyways, here we go.
Other public safety threats.
What are you
President
laughing
Trump
at?
acted swiftly upon taking office to reform our visa issuance process to ensure that dangerous aliens who are intent on harming Americans or our national security interests are no longer admitted into our country. Under the Trump administration, aliens will only be admitted into the United States through the legal process.
Wait. Aliens? Aliens? Wait, are aliens real? Or is she talking about illegal aliens?
Process, and only if they do not bear hostile attitudes towards our citizens, our culture, our government, our institutions, or most importantly, our founding principles. Under
I hope
President
so.
Trump, the United States has...
What?
If they're actual real aliens, she's speaking about like hoping that they're not against the founding principles and against your people and aren't hostile. I hope they're illegal aliens.
Well, yeah, you know, she didn't say illegal aliens. She just said aliens. Bro, so that's why I'm like, wait, she didn't put the illegal aliens in front of it. You know? So I'm getting it mixed up because like which kind of aliens, you know? Aliens or illegal aliens?
Are we getting attacked by one of them's happening every day, and the other one would be like a massive crisis.
The other one's every day too. If you watch Joe Rogan, bro, I've seen those fucking videos of the fighter pilots and stuff. They say it's every day.
Zero tolerance for
That's probably why
foreign
Trump's been so
visitors
busy.
who support terrorism. Violators of U.S. law, including international students, will continue to face visa denial or revocation and deportation. And illegal alien criminals will continue to be arrested and deported from our country.
Wait, hold up.
On that,
SpaceX hasn't had a successful launch since Trump took office, but okay, they launched like every 2 to 3 days. Like they are launching like fuck tons of satellites into space. If you're talking about like their test flights, well, sometimes those blow up because they're like testing a new rocket that's not in production yet. But they're like in production rockets that land vertically and shit, drop payloads off in space. Yeah, those come back and they're working like every time. Those don't blow up. It's the test ones that blow up. And they're like, I was just in Florida, and there's like every few days there's a fucking SpaceX rocket going up. It's pretty sick. But yeah, no, just to let you know, like it's not like all of his rockets are blowing up left and right. It's just the test ones. You probably don't like Elon, so you don't want to fucking hear that. But the truth is that no, it's actually those rockets are like the best rockets on the fucking world. The ones that are putting those payloads up, and that's why they have like basically a monopoly on space internet with their what's that called? Starlink. Starlink is he basically has a monopoly. Like that might become an issue that needs to be addressed at some point. But because no one else has space internet, no one owns their own space company and their own space internet company and launching their own shit into space. No one's doing that. So I mean, I don't know if for all those big payloads of satellites, they're basically if at some point they're gonna circle the entire globe, you'll be able to get internet anywhere on the planet. It's gonna be sick. Even the most remote places on the planet, they're gonna cover it at some point. They'll put low orbit satellites up in there that just power themselves off the sun and give you internet as long as you have a signal, clear sky.
On that note, ICE and federal law enforcement
It's sick
partners
stuff. It's
just
so
wrapped
fucking
up
cool.
a month-long surge
I love
operation arresting nearly 1,500 illegal aliens in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. During the enhanced operation, dubbed Operation Patriot, ICE Boston and other federal law enforcement personnel focused on transnational organized crime, gangs, and dangerous illegal alien offenders throughout Mass. More than half of the nearly 1,500 illegals arrested had significant criminal convictions or charges pending against them. Here are just some of the violent illegal aliens who were removed from communities in Massachusetts during Operation Patriot. A Salvadorian national with active Interpol red notice for aggravated homicide. A Guatemalan national and registered sex offender who had pending criminal charges in Boston for 5 counts of indecent assault and battery on a person 14 or over. A Honduran national who was last arrested for rape, indecent assault, and battery of a person 14 or over.
What?
It's not funny, but I mean, this is like propaganda type stuff. Like, this is like stuff you'd see in Russia, like talking about like the people that betrayed the country that week. You know, it's like,
well, how do you know? So like, okay, I would love. It could be true, right? But okay, so what I would question is, who is this guy? What's his name, and what did he do? It's
literally no name, no nothing. It's literally just arrested.
I know,
rape, kidnapping.
I get it. Yeah. I understand, but it's just like some like little press briefing thing. But this is a person with a name that can be looked into. I'd love to know, who is he? What did he do? If it's this, then like, I mean, is it propaganda? If it's true, if this guy was arrested for this, and then they're gonna deport him. You know what I mean?
Even if it's true, I don't know if it's like necessary to like shove. It's kind of like weird, patriotic. I don't know. There's something that's off about.
Well, this is what they were elected for, right? So the mass majority of people said we want to get illegals out of the country. This is what Trump ran on. So if they're so maybe it is still some form of propaganda, but literally this is what people want to fucking hear, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this is what they want. They want results. They want the bad people deported from the country. From what I understand, one of the things that really did happen, and this is what people voted for, was border crossings to stop, and they're virtually like zero compared to before. Now, are we like getting people out more than they're coming in? I think still, even now, even with it being virtually zero comparatively, there's still more people getting in than getting out. It's like an incredible task and feat to try and round up millions of people and deport them without like breaking the law, right? So it's actually a way slower process than I think was advertised, or what people were expecting. But it is, yeah, it's like really fucking hard. But they did successfully like stop this insane flow of incoming. So that's a W for immigration, which is an issue, and you know it is an issue. Now deporting everybody like that's I always said from the beginning that's going to be messy. That's going to be messy, and it has been, and it's been way slower than I thought. Maybe it was going to be messier because I thought they're going to be more aggressive, but they've actually been way less aggressive than I was expecting, to be honest.
There has been I have seen quite a few cases of people that being sent, and I actually think that it will turn out to be a bit more worse than it has been now, because a lot of people are being sent to El Salvador without, before due process is like happening. That was something that Trump implemented, and so I think we are going to see quite a few cases of people that are wrongfully sent to El Salvador and to these prisons in a few years' time.
We need to make secure border, but we need to make it easier to come here legally. It is hard as fuck to come here legally, So
preach.
It's hard as fuck to come here legally, and and I do every time I hear like the process that people went through to get here, I always go like, fuck, dude, that just sounds so fucking daunting. I'm trying to think like, man, if I wanted to come here, I have to jump through so many fucking hoops to become an American citizen, Now, is that a good thing or bad thing? Is a totally different discussion. I'm just saying it sounds really fucking hard. Okay. It does. It sounds hard as fuck. So, but, we also we have security issues, especially now. There's all kinds of crazy shit. So maybe there's more reasons that I'm not understanding why it's a good thing. I'd love to hear those arguments, but I've always like thought to myself, like, it sounds fucking hard and it'd be awful to go through it myself. But I mean, it's also easy for me to say because I'm already in this bitch, bro. I mean, I was born here, I'm good to go. So like, I could be like, maybe it should be hard, more for me, kind of a thing. But I don't know. I think it could be. I think it could be rebalanced. When you like rebalance a game, I think it could use an update. Maybe get a little bit of a balancing correction for sure. But I say that without knowing all the facts. Maybe there's reasons.
I think it needs it, as somebody who's actively trying to get to the US and trying to immigrate to the US. There is it's extra hard, and actually, I'm pretty sure that the
you're
government
moving here. What are you doing here?
Exactly.
How's your shit working? Because you're moving here from England in like a few weeks.
I'm getting I'm going to get a tourist visa, but I'm looking for long term. I want to get a SIJS visa, which is a juvenile, it's in my country. I'm not in like a safe position. I'm under the age of 21, so that's to do with like my past. I've got past experiences backing that up.
Yeah,
but yeah, so that's my method in.
So you're trying to find a way in, bro. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's
where are you going
rough
again?
Because it wasn't for that.
Where are you going?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. You gonna work for Mr. Beast or something? What are you doing?
I'm just working around. I've got a place out there. Okay. Because my friends.
We'll have to get to it. I was just joking around, but.
Sorry.
You're finding your way. You're finding your way to get here, and so you have to like do that through some fucking weird loophole sounding way. Sounds like
it's not a loop. It's not a loophole. It sounds
like
true.
one.
I have because I have a proper family out there. Like, this is not something to get big in on the stream, but I'm actually getting adopted as well, which is all like looped into it.
You're an adult. I'm playing the video.
Yeah, adult adoption,
rape, and indecent assault and battery on a person 14 or over, and a Guatemalan national who was convicted of murder in Boston. Also, a Brazilian national who was charged with aggravated rape of a child by force and possession of child pornography. Again, these are people who were living in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And lastly, a Salvadorian national whose criminal history includes charges of aggravated rape of a child by force.
That's crazy.
I don't think anybody in this room wants these types of heinous criminals in your communities. And it's thanks to this administration that they are being removed from our country. When Democrat-run jurisdictions released violent illegal alien criminals back into communities after making arrests instead of turning them over to federal immigration enforcement like they should.
Archie, everyone's saying you're going to get deported, bro.
Those Democrats are putting
I might,
Americans at risk.
Now's not a good time to get deported. Like, goes on your shit.
No, definitely not.
So don't fuck it up.
I'm going to try not to.
Don't fuck it up.
Insane policies force law enforcement officials to make much more difficult arrests that put their lives, our law enforcement lives, in jeopardy. President Trump is incredibly grateful for our heroic officers on the front lines getting these violent illegal alien invaders out of our communities. Law and order is back in America under President Trump. And on that same note, there are new crime statistics that show crime is plummeting. In fact, Politico summed it up like this. Murder rates are tumbling across the U.S. in 2025. Homicide stats are down at least 20% over last year. And we could be on course for the lowest number on record. With President Trump in charge, the days of criminals being put over victims are over. On the topic of immigration, the Washington Post just ran one of the most ridiculous headlines ever, even by their standards. And on my very first briefing, several months ago, I said I would hold anyone accountable in this room. The Washington Post actually had this headline, "The Mysterious Drop in Fentanyl Seizures on the U.S.-Mexico Border." How is this mysterious? There is no mystery about why.
Oh, I saw this. I thought it was funny myself. It's kind of funny that she's bringing it up. She must be they must be like pulling popular shit off of Twitter or whatever, bro. Like I would if I was in that position, bro. Be in touch with the people. It's kind of part of the job, but I'm just looking at this and I was like, yeah, there's a mysterious drop in fentanyl seizures at the border. I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably because we stopped like this insane flow of immigrants coming in across the border, fucking flooding into the country illegally. Like there's all it's not just people coming with like yes, there's a lot of people coming with better lives, but it's not just that. There's so much other ugliness that comes like it's a problem, Fentanyl flowing into the country.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. What's up, bro?
Your country was like built on like people coming there for a better life. I think that's core to what America is. You got to keep in the people that are there.
I actually really like JD Vance. Actually had a funny response to this, and I thought it was so like it's actually pretty clever. Yeah, that's true, but there's no reason why we should continue doing like immigration in a really stupid way like we were 200 years ago. We should change it. We shouldn't just let everyone.
Obviously.
Yeah. So like and I just think that's a great response. Because like it's just because like that's the way it started doesn't mean we have to stupidly keep doing it now. We need to get that. Yeah. It's an issue, and it's even a lot of people in our country on the left agree like immigration kind of got out of fucking control. You know, we dropped the ball there. Yeah, that's not good. And in fact, like that's why like anytime Trump would get pressured like during a debate on anything, he would just be like, "Fucking, you know, they're flowing into our country," you know, like. Right? He would just like he wouldn't even answer the question. He would just start talking about this because he knows that people will vote on that. So he just, like don't answer the question. Just keep repeating the fucking thing that people will vote on. That's how important it is to people. It's a real thing. So that's why I say like sure, there's people like our country is built off of it and this, that, and the other. But like, what about right now? Right now is different than then. You know, it's different.
I'm not trying to talk very generally. I mean more like the, you know, educated students, the people at the top of their fields, the people that are like actually going to improve the country.
There's a whole other program for that. Those people aren't flowing in illegally, dude. Those people are. I'm not talking those people are high value people, and they don't need to come here illegally. They can work for like Google, and then Google will buy them one of those $5 million Trump cards. Like seriously, and that was a program that existed before Trump. They just expanded on it. But yeah, no, like the smartest people in the world. I was saying this on yesterday's stream. No, we should import the smartest people in the world. We just got to make sure that they're not against us. You know, like, but yeah, why would we let all the other countries have the smartest people in the world, bro? Like, if we're trying to be competitive, if this is like a real time strategy game, I don't want all the other territories to have all the intelligence. I want all the intelligence hoarded here. I want to hoard it. And then we can out technology everyone else, you know, and out progress in many ways. Than everyone else by having the smartest people here helping us do those things. You know what I mean? Like it only makes sense. So I'm not against that. I'm talking about people crossing the border, like, and human trafficking and all this crazy shit, dude. Like I'm talking about a different type of people coming here.
Yeah, I'm against that as well.
Yeah, like, no, it's gnarly, dude. It's really bad. It's really it's fucked up. Even it is like the things that. Like, if you're a kid crossing the border, bro, like I wish you the most safety coming across, and hopefully there's people around you to protect you. Like, seriously, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So it's a very dark. It's actually a very dark thing that's happening right under our border, bro. And it's so that's why I'm all about like stopping that. And that's where like the mysterious stop and federal. The point here is that they won't like just say like, hey, Trump stopped all this stuff. Like they're saying it's some fucking mystery and it's kind of funny. That's like the real point here, you know, like, but it's not a mystery, bro. Like they stopped all the like with all that comes all types of things as well. There's a lot of baggage that comes along with all the illegal crossings. It's a fact. Everyone knows it. Everyone agrees. It's a real thing. But they can't say it on the Washington Post because like they can't fucking say it, and that is being weaponized by in this press briefing, right? As an argument to see the fake news, right? But like they're not wrong, like you know, like this isn't the fake news, but by being fake news, they're just giving more ammo to the Trump administration to say, see, fake news.
Why there is a decrease in fentanyl coming into the United States. This administration's strong border policies are the reason there has been a decrease in fentanyl trafficking. His strengthened relationship with Mexican President Sheinbaum and all of the measures he has been taking to deter illegal human and drug trafficking at our United States southern border is the reason for plummeting fentanyl seizures at the U.S. border. There is nothing mysterious about that, and we'd like to see the Washington Post update their headline accordingly. This is clearly trying to intentionally manipulate the minds of the Americans, and I think the American people understand why there's been a fentanyl drop. In our office responded to this inquiry. We provided a whole host of the reasons that fentanyl seizures at the southern border have dropped, and the Washington Post refused to run them, and that's despicable. In other news, positive economic reports continue to flood in. Inflation dropped to 2.1% in April. Personal income increased 0.8% in April. So inflation is down and wages are up. That's almost triple the expectations and against the doubts of nearly everyone in this room. And we also saw the largest monthly decline in the trade deficit on record as a result of President Trump's very powerful tariffs. Lastly, the price of eggs has dropped more than 61% since President Trump took office in January. I remember my very first briefing, I was asked about the cost of eggs. The reporter tried to insinuate it was this administration's fault.
Bro, you guys eat so many fucking eggs. Jesus Christ, you guys are so worried about the price of eggs, man. Like, dude, I don't eat that many eggs, apparently, because I don't really buy them that much. So I'm not worried about it. But everyone else, you guys be buying the fuck out of eggs. Jesus. I don't know how much I never knew how much of a shit people gave about eggs. You guys love that shit. It's like aborted bird fetuses to me. It's disgusting. But you guys love them eggs. Bro, you're British. You eat beans and toast. Shut up. All right, let's listen to this.
I ate beans earlier.
Even though he'd only been
Did you have toast?
Yes.
in here for a few days or weeks. It was a result of the previous administration's terrible policies, and in record time, this president has fixed that problem that he inherited from Joe Biden, and now egg prices have dropped 61% since this president took office. There's a lot of good news, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions, so let's get to them. We have just the news in our new media seat today. Amanda Head, thank you for being with us. Why don't you kick us off?
Sure, thank you so much. There is a disturbing trend of anti-Semitism turning into terrorism. Of course, the Boulder, Colorado instance that you
Bread is not always made with eggs. You can just do flour and water, baby.
just mentioned, the 2 Israeli embassy staffers who were murdered, Pennsylvania governor's mansion with the Jewish governor inside getting set on fire. Does the president consider this domestic terrorism? And as such, are there official alerts to law enforcement, BOLOs, task forces, things like that?
The president has made it very clear, as he said in his statement yesterday, that yes, these anti-Semitic acts of violence are do qualify as terrorism, and he does not want to see terrorism or violence of any form taking place in the United States of America. And as for specifically anti-Semitic terrorism and anti-Semitic acts of violence and those that are targeting Jewish Americans, this administration has done more to combat that violence than any administration in history. And one incident is one too many. And I think, frankly, that's something the previous administration was not willing to say. This president will stand up for Americans of all religions, of all faiths, of all creeds. And we will continue to look at policy measures and actions that we can take in addition to the actions that have already been taken to curb this anti-Semitic violence. And to Jewish Americans at home, across the country, this president has your back.
And then on another issue, back in February, Secretary Kennedy created a commission to re-examine the childhood vaccine schedule. But there are still states outstanding like California, Connecticut, Maine that are not allowing any religious exemptions for kids not only to go to school but to participate in sports and extracurricular activities. Would the president want to see religious exemptions allowed across all 50 states? And how do you enforce that, especially with states like California that are already defying the precedent on the men and women's sports issues?
Generally speaking, I know
your room's so cool. What made you put the oh, actually, they can't
for
hear.
families when it comes to vaccinations. As for the instances in those specific
well, it doesn't matter
states,
because they can't hear your response to why did you put the sofa
in
the middle of the room.
what executive action, if any?
Oh, that's my dog's thing. They just love jumping on that thing, so I just put it there so like they could jump up on a thing and while I'm sitting down and they can hang out behind me. That's why I have a second couch.
There is great concern every year about the potential for that.
Thanks for the follows on Twitch, guys. I appreciate it.
Planning to have the level of support, should it be needed, to be as it has been with a reduction in the workforce? And is he still comfortable with Administrator Richardson, who had talked, whether joking or not, about not being aware of a hurricane season for this country? What is the president's level of briefings on what may be required? If you could give us kind of an overall update on that.
Sure. Well, of course, we know that we are into hurricane season now, and I know FEMA is taking this seriously, contrary to some of the reporting we have seen based on jokes that were made and leaks from meetings. But Secretary Kristi Noem and the FEMA leadership are all over this. They are committed to ensuring that federal resources and tax dollars are there for Americans in need, and the president continues to review requests for emergency aid and carefully considering them. However, this president has made it clear we're not going to enable states to make bad decisions with federal tax dollars and then have the federal government.
I'm just waiting for when she's going to talk about Ukraine.
We want to see states be responsible with their tax dollars to do as much as they possibly can, and then the president will deeply and thoughtfully consider any requests for federal aid that come to his desk. And I think some of the media reporting we've seen on this is frankly sloppy and
Los Angeles is best city. I mean, it's fun, but I wouldn't want to live there. Los Angeles is cheap. Okay, yeah, sure.
Irresponsible. There are serious people who are taking this issue seriously, starting with the president himself, who, as you know, on his first domestic trip back in office, visited both North Carolina and California, both of which were, of course, hit by natural disasters when he wasn't even president, but he took ownership of that and visited those places and those people immediately.
Is it
Brian?
about hurricane season appropriate, though, now that this is serious business, as you talked about?
It's serious business, Kelly, and I'm not going to engage in such fodder with a question like that.
Right.
Thanks, Caroline. Reuters was reporting that
You guys
there
are,
was a
did you
letter
ever,
that was meant
Archie, you might be too young for this, but you remember Sean Spicer? Anyone remember that? You guys remember him? He was the press secretary the first time Trump was in. And there was Sean Spicer, and this it was like everyone was like rooting for him. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're getting the spice." Some shit like that. I forgot what it was. They used to have this guy named Spicer. Fucking I don't know, and it was Spice Hour, you know? Everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, it's Spice time, bro. He's up." I don't know. It's just funny because it's funny seeing over the years different administration stuff, different press secretaries that do this, and just how everyone is responding, whether they're a supporter or not a supporter. It's just funny seeing all the different variations and whatnot.
meant to be sent to other countries, which would give these countries a deadline of Wednesday to produce their best offer on the trade matter. Why does the administration feel the need to send this letter? And I have one more follow-up on trade.
Sure, I can confirm the merits in the content of the letter. USTR sent this letter to all of our trading partners just to give them a friendly reminder that the deadline is coming up. And they are in talks. Ambassador Greer, Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lutnick are in talks with many of our key trading partners around the globe. As you know, Brian, I know the Wall Street Journal has covered this quite heavily. And they continue to be engaged in those discussions. And this letter was simply to remind these countries that the deadline is approaching and the president expects good deals, and we are on track for that, I will emphasize.
On the trade side, though, when the deal with the United Kingdom, there was this idea of a reprieve on the auto tariffs. Is the president looking to do another similar deal on the sector-by-sector reduction in tariffs, or is this more going to be deals related to the reciprocal tariffs that were announced months ago?
Well, as I've said previously from the podium, and the president has discussed as well, each country has unique advantages, unique challenges to it based on their markets and what they export to us and what we export to them. And so that's why the president smartly advised his trade team to engage in tailor-made deal making. And we saw that with the United Kingdom, and we will see that with other countries as well.
Kate, does the president support the Senate moving forward with a bill imposing heavy sanctions on Russia?
Look, the president has spoken about his position on sanctions on Russia. He has smartly kept this as a tool in his toolbox if necessary. But I think the Senate and everyone on Capitol Hill respects the president as the commander-in-chief for a reason. And as you know, Russia and Ukraine engaged in direct talks yesterday. That was at the encouragement of this president when he spoke to both leaders of both countries via phone just a couple of weeks ago. And so I would just like to remind everybody how far we have come in just 4 months. I mean, it was inconceivable last year at this time for Russia and Ukraine to be engaged in direct talks. And it's because of the president's insistence and determination to get this war to an end that these countries sat down yesterday. So he's willing to use sanctions if he needs them, and the Senate and the Capitol Hill understand that the president is the commander-in-chief and he's leading United States foreign policy as he should.
And on Iran, the president said that the U.S. would not allow for any uranium enrichment, but the proposal offered to the Iranians...
My dad sent me a bunch of paintings, like giant, super like expensive canvas paintings from an artist called Eric Herman. This is one of them. These things are huge. Look at this thing. That's huge. It's this huge, like, by hand painting. This guy paints motorcycle paintings. And my dad has a bunch of them, and he sent them to me, and he's like, here you go. I was like, Dad, are you going to die? Why are you sending me all this shit? So I don't know. I think I'm going to hang this one behind where that couch back there. I have a new couch. He sent me this, like, couch. It's sick, dude. I was like, that's going in on my stream. And then I got a painting. So I'm like, fuck, dude, I need to put that painting up there. That's going to be sick, dude. So I was just like, this like famous motorcycle painting on my wall. Like, no big deal, bro. I mean, I'm going to flex, bro. This shit is so cool. Look at this fucking painting, dude.
Yeah, it looks kind of dope.
Eric Herman is great. You have 5? You have 5 Eric Hermans? That's crazy. Bro, look. I got a bunch of them. This is like this is like there's a lot of prints of this one. Look at this guy. This is a good one. Duke, you're in the way, old man. There we go. I got Eric Herman paintings. Oh, my dad also sent me this. Check this shit out. He sent me the shotgun from Doom. Bro, it's the Doom shotgun. Thunk, thunk. Bro, it's fucking badass. It's a fucking shotgun. Hell yeah, let's go, dude. So sick. All right, I'll press play. Sorry, I had to flex.
Reportedly allows for low levels of enrichment. Can you?
I got it out of my
explain that
system. Thanks for letting me flex.
I'm not going to comment on alleged details of the report. We're not going to negotiate through the media out of respect for these ongoing discussions and negotiations that Special Envoy Witkoff is leading. The president made his position very clear on Truth Social last night. In fact, it couldn't be any more clear, and I would reiterate that's his position. Special Envoy Witkoff sent a very detailed and acceptable proposal to the Iranian regime that the president hopes they will accept, and if not, they will face grave consequences, as the president himself has reiterated. Sure.
Thanks,
You're
Caroline.
welcome.
A couple of things, if I may. Firstly, can you confirm whether President Trump is going to be going to the NATO summit in The Hague later this month?
I can confirm he will be going to the NATO summit, yes.
Great, thanks. And another question on the Netherlands, in fact. Just wondering if you have any reaction to the collapse of the Dutch government there after the anti-EU and anti-Islam leader Geert Wilders, who's been described as the Dutch Trump, pulled out of the government there.
I don't have a comment on that, but certainly we should, and we
Don't
will.
piss
and
on
we
my
will get you
painting!
one, okay?
Come here.
You're welcome. Brett.
Thanks, Caroline. I wanted to ask, a couple days ago, the president announced that he was withdrawing the nomination of Jared Isaacman to lead NASA, citing a thorough review of prior associations. I wondered, why did this review happen just now, after the nominee was so far into the process? And can you explain the president's thinking on who he might choose?
Look, the president reserves the right to nominate individuals to key administration posts. He also reserves the right to remove those individuals if he chooses, just like he reserves the right to fire anybody in the executive branch that he wants. And so a new replacement for NASA will be announced very soon, as the president himself said.
Was there something in particular that came up that caused the president concern with this nomination?
The president wants to ensure that
Send
all
me to
nominees
Iran?
are aligned.
I don't want to go fucking Iran, bro. Send me to
Iraq.
Send me to Iran like in the 70s. That would have been sick, bro. I don't want to go right now though.
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
That would have been sick, dude. I would have loved to have seen
Trail.
it. Yeah, I would love to see it.
America First mission of this administration, and again, he will be announcing a replacement very soon. Andrew, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline.
You're welcome.
It's been just about a month since President and Prime Minister Starmer
I
announced.
can't see you all the way back there. Close hands in the way.
England again.
There you go.
So it's been just about a month since Prime Minister Starmer and President Trump announced that the U.S. and U.K. had reached a trade deal,
That's right.
or at least a framework for a deal. Now there are at least some conservative MPs in London who are complaining that Parliament has not yet seen the text of any deal. So I'd like to ask you from this side of the pond,
When is someone going to ask about Ukraine?
is there
Yeah, the UK's been more popular than Ukraine.
Yeah, what
New
the
question.
fuck? That's crazy, dude. I'm surprised
Come
nobody
on.
asked. Like, yeah, so any comment on the fucking drone strikes in Russia from Ukraine? Like, can you talk about it?
released, submitted, and if not, when can we expect it? And then I have one more. if
There's
you're done.
most definitely text with this deal. There is language that this side has seen. You'll have to ask the UK Parliament why they haven't seen it from their own government. I obviously can't answer that question.
And on
Jonathan,
Caroline,
go
one
ahead.
more on
Go
Ukraine,
ahead,
please.
Jonathan. Sure, go ahead.
On Ukraine, it's been a couple days since Ukraine made that audacious drone strike on Russian airfields. The president
Finally.
hasn't said a word about it, and usually he's not shy about making his thoughts
Thank you.
known
Don't you
on
love that?
the war, or it's not bad, on the war or any other subject. What have you heard from him on this audacious drone strike?
He's being really careful of this question. I think that like they don't want to get like kicked out, you know. They're trying to be respectful and like get answers to their questions, because if you're hostile, then they're not going to answer your question. So I think he's playing the game and he's being respectful. I just kind of notice it with the way a lot of the reporters are questioning or asking questions in here. Like there's never anybody being snarky or whatever, you know. It's just an observation, you know. Seems like everyone's like on their best behavior, you know. Just noticing it.
Is he surprised? He said that Zelensky didn't have the cards when they met in the Oval Office a few months back. Does Zelensky possibly have some cards that the president hadn't known about?
Look, the president's thinking on the Russia-Ukraine war as it stands, I spoke to him about it just this morning, is he remains positive at the progress that we've seen. Again, he urged both leaders to sit down and talk directly with one another, and they did that. Russia handed over a memorandum of peace, or a peace plan, or a suggestion of one, I understand, to the Ukrainian side. They also agreed upon the exchange of prisoners or hostages from each other's countries. So he remains positive about the progress that we're seeing, but he also is a realist, and he realizes these are two countries that are at war and have been for a long time because of his predecessor's weakness and incompetence. So he's working hard to solve this conflict, and that's where his mind is right now on it. Jonathan, go ahead.
Thank you. Same topic, just to put a finer point on it. Does President Trump approve of Ukraine's decision to strike nuclear-capable bombers in Russia?
I would like to let the president speak on that himself.
And just to follow up, has the president...
I would just add to that. The president does not want to see this war prolonged. He wants the fighting to stop, he wants people to stop dying, and he wants this to be solved at the negotiating table. The reason he is so deeply involved and has spent so much time and effort on this war is because he hates to see people dying. Again, these are not Americans that are being killed. These are Russians and these are Ukrainians. This is a war very far away. But this president truly cares about peace, and that's what he wants to see.
What is President Trump doing to ensure that a similar internal drone attack doesn't happen here in the US, given this was done at pretty low cost, very stealthily?
That's a good question.
You know, it obviously raises questions about our own security.
That's a good question.
Aircraft here.
It absolutely does, and that's why the president nominated Secretary Hegseth and has approved some of the changes that have been made at the Pentagon to ensure that we have the most lethal fighting force in the world, and that the United States military is the best, the biggest. That's why he wants the One Big Beautiful Bill to be passed, because it increases our defense spending. It's why he also launched the announcement of the Golden Dome to prevent from missile strikes and attacks in the future. And the president has a full understanding, I can tell you because I've spoken to him about it, about the future of warfare and how drones are a big part of that. And I will not get ahead of our policy team, but I think we can expect to see some executive action on that front.
Me and Archie are arguing earlier about drones. He thinks that they should be like against the rules to use drones in war.
They should be outlawed.
Yeah, right. Okay, good luck. Okay, but what if I don't follow your rules?
Then we have our own drones that we will strike back.
Exactly. With. Thank you.
In the very near future.
No, I played the video. I played it. I played
it. As well, on the Big Beautiful Bill, you said recently that it is quote blatantly wrong to say that it adds to the deficit. You essentially said that an estimate from the Congressional Budget Office and other scorekeepers you believe are wrong. But Republicans like Ron Johnson and Rand Paul disagree. They are saying that it will add to the deficit. That is their concern. Is the White House's position that those two Republican senators are, quote, blatantly wrong?
It is. Those senators, it's not news that they disagree with this president on policy, and the president has vocally called them out for it and for their not having their facts together. I would add the Congressional Budget Office has been historically wrong. In fact, they predicted the Trump tax cuts from the president's first term in 2017. Their prediction was wrong by $500 billion. Those tax cuts had nearly $500 billion more of revenue than the Congressional Budget Office scored. And I would also point out, I don't think many people know this, there hasn't been a single staffer in the entire Congressional Budget Office that has contributed to a Republican since the year 2000. But guess what? There have been many staffers within the Congressional Budget Office who have contributed to Democrat candidates and politicians every single cycle since. So unfortunately, this is an institution in our country that has become partisan and political, and we are very confident in our own economic analyses of this bill. There is $1.6 trillion in savings, and our Office of Management and Budget Director, Russ Vought, is a fiscal hawk. He is well known in this city for being a well-respected fiscal hawk. He has tools at his disposal to produce even
$5 super chat from Frantic Missy says, Stan, can she put the lotion in the basket? We don't love them hoes. What the I'm just thinking of it in Snoop Dogg's voice. We don't love them hoes, bro. That's like all I could think of when I read that. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
Even more savings. And as you know, the White House will be sending our rescissions package to Capitol Hill today.
And on immigration, the other day that the Homeland Security Secretary said, and I'm quoting her now, that an illegal alien threatened to assassinate President Trump and highlighted his arrest. A man has now admitted to framing him, saying that he wrote the letter that the DHS Secretary Christina posted online. Last I checked before I came into the room, that post was still up from DHS. Does the White House expect them to issue a clarification or a correction on that
We
front?
can ask the Department of Homeland Security and get back to you. Jeff.
Caroline, is the United States putting pressure on China to release its hold on rare earths that are hurting car companies and technology companies now that require that for their products, and is that pressure working?
Well, I can assure you that the administration is actively monitoring China's compliance with the Geneva Trade Agreement. I know the United States, on our end, we have complied with the terms that we set, and our administration.
Archie, are you arguing in the comments, bro? Don't let him bait you, bro. Don't get. I mean, you can do whatever you want, bro. Hey, just to let you guys know, my mod is lefty as fuck, and I'm righty. All right, so I'm not gonna tell him what he's not allowed to say. All right, so. But just let you guys know, I don't fucking have the same viewpoints as his. So whatever the fuck shit he says in the chat, that's shit he believes, okay? I don't believe that shit. You can say whatever you want, Archie.
Engaged in
I don't give a fuck.
correspondence with their Chinese counterparts, and as you all know, and I know there's a lot of interest in it, there will be a leader-to-leader talk very soon, and when that happens, as always, we will let you know.
Also in Asia, does the White House have a reaction to the results of the election in South Korea?
Yes, we do. In fact, let me find it here for you. It should be somewhere in here. Thank you. We do not, but I will get you one, Jeff. Go ahead.
Oh, shit.
Is this letter that was sent
are you ready for that? Are you going to be okay with that? I mean, I always got your back, bro. I mean, I don't care if you think different than me. But just saying.
Okay, for what? Okay, with what?
Well, yeah, I'll be like, well, this motherfucker's lefty as fuck. He can say what he wants, but he's not, because they're going to be like, you're a pussy.
I'm okay with that.
You're cool with it? Okay. As long as you're cool with it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Let me hear it, guys. I'm a liberal. I'm proud.
Fucking lib.
I am left wing. I would have voted for Kamala. I would have voted for Kamala.
No, you would have voted for Kamala. You're so stupid, bro. No, that's a disaster.
The sign that the president isn't satisfied with the pace of these negotiations. Is he trying to light a fire?
Bot should be banned.
Well, look, the president has been very direct.
He's editing
to
for
our
me.
in his conversations with them.
He's my editor.
Leaders directly that they need to cut
Yeah,
deals
so I'm
with the
gonna
United States of
bias the
America.
edits.
The tariff.
No,
agenda.
you already libbed me on one. I already reamed him for one. He picked the most lefty title for a video, and I'm like, what the fuck is that shit, dude? That's not what the fuck. $5 super chat says, we don't love them hoes. Oh my god. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat once again.
This president, he believes very strongly in it. And as you've all seen, he's unafraid to use tariffs to protect our industries and protect our workers, but he wants to see these tailor-made deals be signed. And I will tell you, of course, I never want to be the one negotiating with the press about these internal discussions and deliberations, but our team, who is deeply involved in this, sees these deals moving in the right direction. In fact, Ambassador Greer is in Paris right now, meeting with many of our trading partners.
So we should still expect this flurry of deals in the next 36 days, and the plan is still for those full tariffs to go back into effect on July 9th.
The plan is for the announcement of these deals to be made very, very soon, yes. Sure.
Thank you, Caroline.
You're welcome.
So Governor Whitmer confirmed that she spoke with President Trump about the possibility of pardoning the plotters against her, the kidnapping case. she didn't give us an idea of what the president's reaction was to that. Do you have any information about what he said?
Well, I won't reveal the president's private discussion unless he gives me liberty to, but I will reiterate what he said publicly when he was asked by one of the journalists in this room in the Oval Office a couple of weeks ago about the pardons. He said it's something he would look at, nothing more, nothing less. Haley, go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline.
And then to Kelly next to you.
Archie, you're a real dotty. I don't know what that means, but I like it.
He meant Diddy.
What is
I'm
the
pretty sure he
president's
just-
You're a dotty.
Looking for concrete outcomes
Yeah, I'm a
out of
dotty.
this, or is he looking
Cola said, oh, look, a DUI hire, and I hope he wasn't talking
warm
about me.
relations as he's
Yeah, you are a DEI hire. Fuck yeah. Yeah, no, you're a DEI hire, 100%, bro. I'm using you for brownie points. I'm gonna totally, bro. If you were like trans or some shit, I would be like, see, a trans person works for me. I would do that. No, I would totally use DEI the fuck out of you. Use it as a shield.
Well, President Trump and President Xi have shared a respectful relationship throughout the years. And again, I won't get ahead of the president on that call. But as always, after you'll hear directly from the president or from myself or someone else.
Is this with or against Trump? I'm for Trump. I'm pro Trump. But my editor, he's lib as fuck, and he's Kamala. He voted Kamala.
I'm not completely against Trump. Like, I think he's got some good things. I like what he was doing with the tariffs, making Mexico like bend to his will, being like, "We're going to tariff you unless you stop these border crossings." That's kind of smart. And he's also done some other smart things, but I think he's done some things wrong.
Fair enough.
Thank you. I want to get back to the anti-Semitic
That's because I've been talking to him. He didn't say that shit before.
behavior that's been going on college campuses as well as recently in Boulder,
$2 super chat from Frank McMissy.
as
He
you
didn't
know,
kill himself.
has the White House faith
Maybe he
office, the
did.
Religious Commission, as well as the
He didn't kill himself.
I think it's possible. It's possible he did, bro. I mean,
no.
Security guards sleep all the time. I bet those guys have been sleeping for months in that room.
Security guards sleep, security cameras off, and cellmate gone. All on the same day.
From a whole of government perspective, and the president has already mentioned how he hates these kinds of acts that have been going on. Can these entities and these agencies work together with the president to put out a proactive campaign to help people stop the hate?
I think the president himself has been leading on this, Kelly, and has.
There's a big mix of a lot of different ways of seeing things politically in this chat, and you know what? It's like working. You know, I mean, people are yelling at each other. That's okay, but like, it's still kind of working. Like, everyone's kind of hanging out, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Has been incredibly clear in his rhetoric that he is not going to tolerate.
He's
such
a racist liberal. Oh my god, that's so
in the
funny.
United States of America, and you will see that rhetoric being followed up by action from the Department of Justice, who is seeking to prosecute these cases to the fullest extent of the law. And I know the Attorney General and the FBI Director were very quick to call this what it was: targeted terrorism. And there was some, I think, criticism from the media and well, at least pundits I saw on television saying, are they too quick to jump here? No, they see the facts and they reveal those to the American people, and they're transparent. And I think, frankly, that's a breath of fresh air from what we experienced in the previous administration.
Are there programs that they can put in place to campaign against this kind of violence, to actually take the whole approach and say, we want to get ahead of you. If you're thinking it, don't do it. And if you're going to do it, sit down and talk to someone within the faith office, within the Religious Liberty Commission, as well as the task force.
Yeah, surely. It's a good idea, and I'll pass it along to them. Peter.
Thank you, Caroline. When you look at these last-minute Biden pardons, the big ones, Biden siblings, Fauci, January 6th committee.
That's right.
Most of the big ones have the same very neat signature.
Hell yeah.
We expect that probably to be the auto pen. There is one that looks different. It looks authentic. In fact, if you look at the last name, it almost looks like the president was having a hard time spelling his last name there. Is this White House of the opinion that the only pardon that would count is one that the president signed himself?
It's very interesting. Very interesting props. If you want to bring them to my office later so I can take a closer look, I would like to do that. The president is making a good point when he discusses the usage of the auto pen. Who was running the country for the past 4 years? Perhaps those documents were signed with the auto pen, something that this, I believe the Department of Justice is looking into, as you saw. And Martin
I see it
made an
too.
announcement
It's so
at the
funny.
Department of Justice this morning.
I'm just gonna heart
launch
it.
an
No comment.
investigation because the American people deserve answers.
Is there any concern
Actually, I will comment on that. $2 super chat from Frantic Missy. Thank you very much. You're up there now. I just sit, dude. I've been standing all goddamn day. Time for me to sit. Sea Dog, happy birthday, homie.
This president who won the election on a promise to fix the economy and close the border, that focusing and scrutinizing these Biden pardons is looking into the past instead of looking forward.
I think in comparison to the amount of time this president has spent on securing the border, on fixing our economy, I just read out for you an entire list of economic accomplishments.
I do got to have RG's back here. Recently we started working with each other again, but he almost messed it up because he was trying to fuck some girl and he wouldn't get back to me on my DMs. So yeah, no.
Oh my God, I was not.
Yeah, he was.
Look at the border numbers. Look at the time and effort he's divulged into solving the global conflicts abroad.
So yeah, I don't think he likes the
comparison, but
PPs.
it's still,
I think he's a taco guy.
nevertheless, is a very important issue, and it was a huge issue that sent the president back to this White House. The Americans saw with their own eyes a mentally incompetent president, and they want answers for that, and the president believes they should have
And
them.
something that just
Go
crossed
ahead.
Caroline, how mad do you think President Trump is going to be when he finds out that Elon Musk said, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it."
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it. Tamara.
Thank you. The National Security Council was reorganized, or some staffing changes were made the Friday before Memorial Day. I'm hoping you can explain sort of the new structure, what the structure is of the National Security Council, what the goal is in terms of staffing levels. What is the new National Security Council mode?
Well, as with everything in this White House, it is a top-down approach. The president is here. He is president. He's not an auto pen like the previous president was. He's very much involved in literally every policy discussion and decision that takes place. And we felt it was best to reorganize the National Security Council to respond to that top-down approach that we have here in this White House, and to streamline the efficiency and the effectiveness of the National Security Council. And I would add that Secretary of State Rubio and now National Security Advisor Rubio is doing a tremendous job at leading the National Security Council. He knows the president. He understands where the president is on these issues. He's great to work with here at the White House. I can tell you that. I appreciate seeing him a lot more in the building. And he and the president and the entire National Security Council, who's made up of great patriots who love this country, are doing a tremendous job on the many conflicts around the world that this administration inherited.
Is there a goal staffing level?
I'm sorry?
Is there a goal for the staffing level, like the number of people who would be in this National Security
Look, we
Council?
just want the National Security Council to be as efficient as possible, and if staffing needs are necessary, I'm sure Secretary Rubio would not
Thanks,
mind
Badger.
hiring people if necessary, but again, we've been working with them day in and day out, and they're chugging along and doing great work. Sure.
Thank you, Caroline. Two questions, if I can. President Trump got involved himself in presidential election in Poland by supporting a conservative candidate who ultimately won.
Yeah.
What
great
does it
win.
mean for the future U.S.-Polish relations? What's likely to change?
Well, I believe the president is obviously pleased to see the result of the Polish elections. He met with Karol Nawrocki, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yes, Nawrocki. Okay, thank you. I appreciate your insight on that. He met with him at the White House, and he told them, you're going to win because you support common sense. And he supported strong borders in Poland. He supported an end to the woke, radical DEI stuff that we've seen not just here in the United States, but really take over Europe and, frankly, the whole world. He was very outspoken about that. And I was reading the reports about how the Polish people felt about this man, and they felt like he was putting the needs of Poland first. And that's a very refreshing feeling, one that we know very well here in the United States of America. So, as you know, the United States and Poland have always had a very deep and strong relationship, friendship. They're a great ally, and I know the president continues to look forward to working with them.
We have one more on Ukrainian
here we go,
drone
Ukraine.
attack on Russia. Was President Trump informed in advance?
That's
by
a good
Ukraine
question.
That the attack is coming?
And we know that he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Caroline, so I just want to go back to the issue on the anti-Christian bias as well as issues on anti-Semitic issues. Senator Grassley just put out a report saying that the FBI files have shown that the Catholic group.
I'm only letting the dogs come and go right now because it's kind of cold out and it's hot in here, so we're just kind of like letting them chill. But usually we have that open, but we do let them out whenever they want.
Targeting was way more prevalent within the FBI during the Biden era than was previously.
A lot of Trump derangement syndrome in the comments. Hey, bro, if people see it differently, they can see it differently. I'm a righty. I just don't give a shit, bro. Let people think what they want.
Shown as far as former FBI Director Christopher Wray was putting out there during congressional testimony. Can you discuss here what President Trump would like to see in terms of consequences within the FBI as far as those who were involved? Also, the second question, if the DOJ finds that the auto pen was used by President Biden, should those actions that were used with the auto pen, should they be null and void?
I'm not going to get ahead of the Department of.
There's such a crazy concept about. We already know she's not going to answer the question. We'll hear what she says in a sec, but the whole auto pen thing is such an interesting like aspect I'd never even considered in my mind, not once. Like something like that would be what is being used to try and undermine previous decisions that are in place. You know, it's just like, it's just crazy. The Trump administration is like using the most unorthodox approaches to achieving their goals as like I've ever heard of, like more than I've ever heard of from anyone. And it's interesting to me now, like I'm on Trump's side, you know, I want Trump to win, but it's crazy seeing all these like methods being used. And it does make me a little uneasy. Like we're in kind of like crazy times. This is, you know, because new things are happening and new things is always kind of scary. You know, if you're being honest. So, you know, like AI is coming out. There's all this, like the government is getting really shaken up. There's, you know, geopolitics is really heating up. There's a lot of things happening at once, and it's just kind of interesting. So, I don't know, just some thoughts I'm having on that. This auto pen thing is just like so obscure of an approach to what they're trying to do.
Of Justice's investigation into the usage of the auto pen. And the question is not, was the auto pen used? It's whether or not the President of the United States knew it was being used, and if not, who was using it in his name, which is clearly illegal behavior. Deanna.
Thanks, Caroline. One on foreign policy, one domestic, if I can.
Sure.
On foreign, just speaking to the President's Truth Social post about Iran recently, saying that there will be no uranium enrichment. Is he saying that that's a red line for him or no?
I already answered this question. The President's been very clear about where he stands on that.
Okay, and then on domestic, there's a report
She's just so firm. It's funny.
that Laura Loomer met with the Vice President today. Can you speak to her relationship with the administration and if, you know, if she's informally advising in any way?
She is not. I do know she met with the Vice President. As for what was discussed in that meeting, I would defer you to his team.
Thanks, Caroline. I had one question on anti-Semitism, one question on China. So for years, radical leftists and Islamists have been calling for so-called globalize the Intifada. Do you believe this is a call for violence?
Bro, he sounds like the elf from the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. You know how there's like the older elf and he's like cool? He sounds just like the, you know what I'm talking about? You know who the older elf is, Brittany? What was his name? Listen to this guy. He sounds just like him. What are you saying, Archie?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you ever seen that movie? That's an old one. That was a children's movie when I was a child. But Bernard, bro, he sounds like Bernard, bro. Listen.
Radical leftists and Islamists have been calling for.
Let me go back more.
Informally advising in any way?
She is not. I to his team.
Thanks, Caroline. I had one question
Bernard.
on anti-Semitism, one question on China. So for years, radical leftists and Islamists have been calling for so-called globalize the Intifada. Do you believe this is a call for violence against Jews? And do you think these attacks on Jews around our country are what globalizing the Intifada looks like?
I don't want to speak to the merits of those claims without looking into them, but as I said, any violence against Jewish Americans will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Absolutely. And also, Secretary of State Rubio made an announcement saying he'll be revoking visas of certain Chinese students, including those.
Bro, make me some fucking toys, man. Dude, that's Bernard.
Communist Party. Does that include sons and daughters of politicians, presidents, and chairmen?
Again, Secretary of State Rubio has the right to revoke visas, and he made the announcement that the State Department will begin to aggressively revoke those visas of Chinese students who are in our country, namely those with Chinese Communist Party ties, or those who could be a threat to our national security and the interests of the United States. To both of you, yeah, go ahead and then back to you.
Thank you. There are now reports that Israeli
Bernard, can we take a direct flight back to reality, or do we have to change planes in Denver?
Larry, take Charlie here and get him some chow.
No, Larry, don't do that. Charlie?
He'll be okay. Follow me. You want to get out of those clothes.
No, look, Barnaby, I just want to go home.
Barnab? That's Bernard.
Bernard. Hey, Barabbas.
Bernard.
Can we take a direct flight back to...
Bro, that's Bernard. Hold on, we got to go back to Bernard here.
Interests of the United States. To both of you, yeah, go ahead and then back to you. Communist Party.
Chairman?
Again, Secretary of State Rubio.
So-called globalize the Intifada. Do you believe this is a call for violence against
Bernard.
Jews? And do you think these attacks on Jews around our country is what globalizing the Intifada looks like?
I don't want to speak to the merits of those claims without looking into them. Rubio has the right to revoke visas, and he made the announcement that the State Department will begin to aggressively revoke those visas of Chinese students who are in our country, namely those with Chinese Communist Party ties, or those who could be a threat to our national security and the interests of the United States. To both of you, yeah, go ahead and then back to you.
Thank you. There are now reports that Israeli forces are firing on Palestinians trying to get aid from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Up to 20 people, according to the Red Cross, have arrived to the hospital that they've set up with gunshot wounds, have died from them. Is this administration aware of these? And I mean, what is being done to address this situation?
Frantic Missy, thanks for the $5 super chat and the $2 super chat.
The administration is aware of those reports, and we are currently looking into the veracity of them because, unfortunately, unlike some in the media, we don't take the word of Hamas with total truth. We like to look into it when they speak. Unlike the BBC, who had multiple headlines. They wrote, Israeli tank kills 26, Israeli tank kills 21, Israeli gunfire kills 31, Red Cross says 21 people were killed in an aid incident, and then, oh wait, they had to correct and take down their entire story, saying we reviewed the footage and couldn't find any evidence of anything. Oh. Okay, so we're going to look into reports before we confirm them from this podium or before we take action, and I suggest that journalists who actually care about truth do the same to reduce the amount of misinformation that's going around the globe on this front. John.
About the change in the leadership of the organization, what does that mean going forward?
Yeah, that's actually funny. You're airing something about the government press conference, and you were worried about a character in a movie. Puke emoji, angry face, face palm. That's funny. No, his voice just sounded the same. I was just making a joke.
And why so early
No
on?
big deal.
Is
It's okay.
What organization?
The Humanitarian Foundation.
Well, look, this was a creative idea that the president called for to get aid into the region. These people were desperate and starving, and the president didn't like seeing imagery of that, and he wanted to ensure that aid was brought in with the approval of Israel for understandable reasons. We will never forget the brutal attack on October 7th. And again, this is something that the previous administration was unwilling to put the time and effort into doing. John.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. I want to bring it back to the way you began your briefing, talking about the president's mass deportation program.
Sure.
I've been thinking about watching Tropic Thunder recently.
And his priorities.
It's a great film.
40% of
it's so funny.
farm workers in the U.S. are undocumented, and that's according to the Agriculture Department. Do they have a carve-out in terms of the president's mass deportation program?
The president and the Trump administration have been very clear. If you are in the country illegally, you are subject to deportation.
Is there any concern that, given that large number, if that number is correct, 40% of crop farm workers being undocumented, that could impact the food supply here in America if those individuals that obviously help pick crops all across the country are deported en masse?
Again, this administration is focused on deporting individuals who are in our country illegally. It's something we have to do. We cannot allow
That's
the
true.
previous
We have to.
administration's invasion of our country of illegal immigrants to continue. We just can't have it.
No, that's
and
true.
This is a law and order president. As for our farmers and their concerns, they have a president who has their backs and listens to their concerns and hears them. But we also have a legal pathway to come to this country and work specifically for agricultural work. So there's a legal way to do it, and we encourage that legal pathway, and we're currently working on strengthening our legal immigration system for that reason. Sure.
Thank you, Caroline. Just wanted to follow up on your statement last week regarding the Maha report.
Sure.
You said that there was, you said, I understand there were some formatting issues with the Maha report that are being addressed, and that report will be updated. We also understand that since that, there have been some citations that came about. There's citations of studies that either did not exist or did not back up the report's conclusions. So when you were referring to formatting errors, is that what you were talking about, or was it, could you just explain that?
Sparky's like, this said you look fine. Bro, Trump knows what he's doing, okay? Trump knows exactly what he's doing, bro. Okay, bro, he didn't pick, like, she's on point. Like, she's doing exactly what Trump and the administration would want someone here answering press to do, and that is like answer what you want to answer and don't answer what you don't want to answer, and set whatever narratives they want to set. That's what she's good at it, right? But like, also Trump's like, but no, we want somebody pretty good to look at, you know, like they, like, I swear to God, it's there's no fucking way they didn't do that on purpose, right? So like, I mean, it's like, and I just look at it from a comedic standpoint. Really, I'll look up at you. You guys are up there. I look at it from a comedic standpoint, bro. Like, I just think it's fucking hilarious. I believe that it's totally on purpose, and I think that's funny as hell. But that's just me. Someone else you're free to be upset. Think that that's problematic, whatever. Go ahead. You know, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to argue with you. All right. I think it's funny. I laugh at that shit. I'm just taking a step back, and I just think that is so funny. They know what they're doing, bro. They got someone saying exactly what they want to say, whether you agree or disagree with what they're saying. The job of this person is to say what the administration needs them to say. It's, you know, it's not like they're there to. She's not there to tell the truth about every fucking question that's answered. She's there to talk to the press in a certain way that benefits the administration. That's like the real like reason why she's there, at least from the intentions of the administration. Is there like some other reason that she's supposed to be there for? Like what you could think, like, you know, morally, whatever. That's a whole different conversation. I'm just saying, like, obviously she's there to talk the way she does for Trump. Like, she's been installed there to do, and she's doing it like perfectly from what I would expect Trump would want. You know, agree, disagree if it's right or wrong. That's different. Again, different discussion. But yeah, I don't know. And then she's like she's young in her 20s and shit like that. You know, like, bro, blonde, bro. It's on purpose.
That's what I was talking about. They were formatting
Trained puppet. Yeah, maybe so. Okay, maybe so. But she's doing a really good job at it. That's all I'm saying. Right? She's nailing the position.
And
Yeah.
those errors were updated by the proper policy components here at the White House, and a new report was issued. So exactly what I said took place. Sure, go ahead, Alec.
Yeah,
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Congresswoman Mary Miller suggested that changing Pride Month to Family Month. I would personally like to see.
Her predecessor. Now that person was kind of like a little bit snarky, you know. But so is she. But the other one, something about it is like annoying. I don't know. Maybe it's because, like, you know, the predecessor was opposing political viewpoints, so maybe I'm biased, right? So I'm like, you're annoying. Just like anyone that's like lefty looking at what's her name, Caroline Levitt, right? Like, they're gonna be annoyed. They're gonna be annoyed by everything she's saying. So maybe it's just like the same, you know, vibe either way. But I always saw the last one as more annoying. But yeah, again, it's probably my political bias.
See maybe a nuclear family month. Some people are saying, let's get a Veterans Month. Does the president have any plans on making a proclamation, or is it just going to be June this year?
Well, there are no plans for a proclamation for the month of June, but I can tell you this president is very proud to be a president for all Americans.
Her husband is 60. Is that true? Do you know about that, Archie?
No. I can find out.
If it's true, that fucking You know, hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed.
Caroline.
All right, Reagan, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline.
And then I'll go to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Colorado passed sanctuary protections for illegals 1 month before the terrorist attack this weekend. 2 questions. Why
Yes,
did the
she is.
DHS remove the sanctuary cities
She's
list?
married to a 60-year-old real estate developer.
Hell yeah, bro. She a hustler, bro. She moving up in the world.
That he had published, which was
Hell yeah.
ordered by the president.
That's funny.
And then what is the administration going to do to further crack down on sanctuary jurisdictions to prevent attacks like what happened in Colorado?
Sure. The Department of Homeland Security will be issuing a new list of sanctuary cities, an accurate list of sanctuary cities. As for what we're doing to crack down, the president has signed various executive orders and has directed the Attorney General to prosecute federal, state and local officials who are not complying with federal immigration authorities and, most importantly, federal immigration law.
Thanks, Caroline.
Thank you,
Caroline. We have Etchy. Are you still here in the Twitch chat? He's like, yo, dude, I remember your PUBG lobbies. Yo, you're OG. What's up, dude? What was your name back then? Because it doesn't look familiar. I always like to call out an OG, guys. This is from like 7-8 years ago streaming. Like it's an OG viewer. I hope you're still here and I didn't miss your chat. Or I didn't miss you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much.
She's a bootlicker. That's exactly who they would want to be in that position, though, right? I mean, don't you want someone that's like completely on your side being the press secretary if you're like the president? You know, I mean, you can't blame them, right? Like even on the other side, the other chick that I said was annoying, right? Like she did a really good job, like doing like talking to the press and for Biden. You know, she'd lie for him. She did whatever the fuck they needed. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally what you want these people to do. If you're the administration, you want them to fucking be on your side. You know, I'm not excusing and like lying and being wrong. I'm just thinking about the game and how they're playing it. You know, that's all I'm doing. Missy, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. These super chats were made possible by my 74-year-old boyfriend. Holy fucking shit, that's funny as fuck, dude. That is so funny. Can I put like
president
pin
take
that?
calls from
Oh my
foreign
God.
leaders on the tariffs on
I
steel and
can't.
aluminum? Does he
That
still
is so
intend
funny.
to double them tomorrow morning?
The president will be signing that executive order today, and steel and aluminum tariffs will be going to 50%, yes.
No way it's going to change or it's going to be suspended?
He made that announcement in Pennsylvania, and he plans
She is
to
perfect for her
deliver on
job,
that
yeah.
promise to Pennsylvanians. And why is he hiking it? And Ed, go ahead. I can answer that, but go ahead, Ed.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Caroline. So a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson today said that the U.S. imposed harmful measures like new chip controls and pledging to revoke Chinese student visas. So are the Chinese the victims in this trade back and forth?
Look, I don't think anyone is the victim. These are two strong countries, and as I said, the president has a good relationship with China's president and leader, and that discussion will take
No, I wasn't in the Navy. I was in the Marines.
place later this week.
And what other authorities is the president looking at for tariffs?
I guess it's a department of the Navy if you want to make that argument.
Should the decision of the appeals court not go his direction?
Well, right now, his tariffs remain in effect. We spoke at length in my briefing last week about that decision that came down from the International Trade Court, which has been put on pause because the president absolutely does have the authority to implement tariffs and to declare a national.
Putin's not listening to Trump. You know what? I don't think he is. I don't think he's fucking listening to shit that Trump is saying, to be honest. You know, I like Trump, but I don't think Putin's fucking listening to anybody. I think Putin knows he just needs to wait him out 4 years, bro.
Emergency for our crippling trade deficit. He could always have the power to use Section 202 or Section 301 as well to impose tariffs if he deems necessary, especially Section 202 tariffs, which are sectoral, as you know, to protect our critical supply
We hold the
chains.
cards.
Thanks, Caroline. You've got U.S. business leaders begging for certainty. So why did the president suddenly decide to hike tariffs on steel and aluminum again?
You also have U.S. business leaders begging to meet with this president and begging to come to the White House to talk to him because they know that he is a negotiator in chief, that he's making good deals on behalf of the American worker and the steel worker in particular when it comes to the steel and aluminum tariffs, which he discussed in his speech at length at Pennsylvania, and the need.
The Marines are a department of the Navy, so Navy has rougher boot camp. Navy, from when I was an easier, shorter boot camp than the Marines, but it's still, a boot camp. It's not a fucking joke. You still have to pass and everything. But Marines, I think maybe it's been a long time. When I was in boot camp, the Marines boot camp was 3 months, and other branches were like 2 months.
Need for them.
But I think
and
it's changed
I would
since
just add, I was
when
at
I was
that
in.
speech on Friday with the president, and there were 2,000 steel workers and their families in the room, many of them wearing their hard hats. I spoke to one backstage who said this is the greatest thing that has happened for that community in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 60 years, because this is a president who doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk too, and he's delivering on his promises to bolster our steel and aluminum industries in this country and to protect those jobs. If not for this president, that steel plant in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania would have closed. Those jobs would have been lost. And the president saved that company, he saved those jobs, and he's saving that community. And that's the intention of the steel tariffs, which he will sign later this afternoon. Thank you very much,
Trump's a draft dodger. How do you feel about that, Marine? I don't give a shit.
everyone. We'll see you later.
Friday for Steve, everything?
All right, that's it. Interesting. I mean, I don't know. I was wondering maybe if we'd get a little bit more information about Ukraine, but nope. Nope.
More information about the UK.
Yeah, it's yeah, we got more about the UK than anything, but no, it's that's interesting. All right, stream marker, let's move on. Let's get this first one done for you. I'm sorry. I kind of took a little bit too long to get here.
No, it's all right. It's been nice, and it's
been having
been a
fun?
good build up in the stream.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
let's
think
go.
This is definitely good.
Well, let's do it, bro. All right. Well, I'm gonna stand back up and do the rest of these. I just need to get off my feet for a while. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, no, we're getting into it. Got my homie back here, chilling behind me. See him? There he is. All right. Bonnie Blue! She back in the news. I saw this edit, and then there's some more shenanigans she's getting into, apparently. But I have a lot to say about Bonnie Blue. But let's watch this. Here we go. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Penises into one vagina in 12 hours is disgusting.
But the more you talk about it, the more it turns me on.
You'd fuck an old man.
Oh yeah, of course I would. Old men deserve sex. I mean, the wife might be dead. I don't discriminate whether you're married, 18 or 80. I'll take anybody.
Out of the 1,000 men, there was a lot of barely legal boys. Do you not have a problem with the fact that they're literally borderline underage?
No, because they're 18.
But they're still children.
Yeah, but they're 18. I'd happily take someone like on their 18th birthday. Like, no problem.
How old
Because
are you?
they're 18, 25.
My nephew's 18. He's still a child.
I'll send him to me then. Hopefully I'll find him in my queue one day. It's hard work being a slut. Like, I've earned the title.
Oh my god, dude. She is so bizarre.
Condone cheating?
Yeah.
And if you had a daughter and she said, you know, Mummy, I want to be just like you.
Yeah.
And you'd be happy and you'd watch your daughter just f everyone.
Yeah. I will raise my daughter to be independent and to follow her dreams. If that is to 1,000 people, I'll be there with a banner supporting her the whole way. Like, I love the idea that I don't know who's going to be inside of me. There was times I was in doggy and I'd turn around.
Archie, you guys made this over there in England. This is the product of you guys.
Yeah, not proud of it. This is our version of Amaranth, I guess.
Bro, bro.
Yeah,
our Amaranth is nothing compared to this, bro.
Yeah, true. How do you feel about her doing it with people, with like being proud about doing it with people that are barely legal? What is your 18? I think 16 is actually legal in the UK.
I mean, I think that when I was 18, now I wouldn't when I was 18, I wouldn't want to be with somebody that was with a lot of people. That grossed me out, right? I'd rather be someone that wasn't with it, like wasn't a slut, right? However, when I was 18, if there was a smoking hot 25-year-old, then yeah, fuck yeah, dude, I'd fuck yeah, bro. Okay.
Would you get in a queue though? Would you join the queue?
Absolutely not. No, that disgusts me. But I'm just saying, right? You're asking you just about the age, right? So I'm just thinking, I mean, yeah. Now, if it's a dude and a girl, I feel a little bit more weird about it. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound equal. But I'm just being honest. Something about it, I feel a little bit different. But I'm also I mean, she ain't wrong. They're adults, if old enough to die for your country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess, I mean, legally, you can make all kinds of dumb decisions. I mean, So I mean, I don't know. It just kind of depends. Like I guess 25 is not, when I was 18, 25 didn't seem too old. It was kind of old, but it wasn't too old, right? It's funny. I'm in my 30s now. I look back at it, I'm like, people 25 is like a kid. So she's like a kid to me. I look at her, right? Like, cause I'm way, I don't know. That's the way I see it from my older perspective, right? How old are you? You're 19. How old do you see 25?
Older, but beginning to be like a peer. Like I see them as an adult, and they still talk down to me. And if I go out clubbing, they'll still buy me drinks and think I'm cute.
Bro, they don't know shit. I'm telling you. All right, I was there. Okay, I was there. I seen it. They don't know shit. So I don't know. I see it that way. I just like, but what she's doing with like the 2,000 men thing that's coming up it disgusts me.
And I would have no idea who's in the back of me, and I love that.
That's disgusting. Like, you're a pretty girl. You could have gone in.
She definitely does not look 25. She looks beat up, dude. All right? It's got to be all the dickin'. All the dickin' coming in is stealing her age away from her soul. That's what's happened, bro.
Yeah.
All that dickin' going in. She's getting... Bro. And the life force is being, like, sucked out of her via penises. What, Archie? What, bro?
Yeah, she actually, for a while, she pretended like she was 32 for some reason. I was unaware that she was 25 until a few months ago. Maybe it was a joke that she said a few times, but I thought she was actually 32.
Huh. That's crazy. Yeah. Succubus. But it's just a reverse succubus. She's giving her own energy away. Yeah, she do look beat up. Frantic Missy, $4 super chats. Thanks to your 79-year-old husband. Tell him I said thank you for super chats. Appreciate it. She looked 40. She's close to it.
Modeling, you could have gone into acting. You could have been like an influencer.
It's also very hard to get into that.
You're so attacking people.
Not really. Like, I love that, and that's what I've got passion about.
If that's really your thing that you get off on, you just go and do it in private.
Why do I need to do it in private? I'm proud of it.
Yeah, but
it's like going, oh, I've done an amazing piece of art, but I should hide it away.
But it's not, because doing art and becoming a cum bucket is two completely different things.
This interviewer is like, does not like her, and she's not holding back. I kind of like it. I respect her for just saying, fuck it. There's a difference between art and being a cum bucket. Bro, that is so fucking wild. She's not wrong. I guess, I mean, people are paying for it. I don't know. Is it art?
No UK way to put that.
Is it art if she pays taxes on it?
Empowered when I'm disrespected by over 1,000 men. Like,
think about
I have to remind them, spit on me, slap me, choke me, pull my hair, because they're too polite to me.
What you're doing is so damaging to women as a woman.
Oh, women find everything to complain about. They'll cry about anything and everything nowadays.
So your family support what you do?
I'm like becoming numb to it.
No, that's
She's so bizarre. Like, at the beginning of me watching this video, I was in a different place. Now it's like nothing's shocking me anymore. I just feel like I just saw like the most foul things on the internet, and I just got completely desensitized and numb.
Super supportive.
But she actually lived it. That's the crazy bit. Like, she's talking about all these crazy foul things that desensitize you, but that's her actual life. That's what she goes through on a day-to-day basis.
Crazy. Now I gotta say, she do be rich.
She's definitely worked for that money. Whatever you can say about her, she definitely earned every penny.
She worked for that money. All right, she do be rich and she do be working, right? Oh man. Here's what my like perspective of this woman. Let me see if I can get a better frame of her. There we go. Yeah, no, my thoughts here are like, she's like rated X David Blaine. Okay, so everything that she does is basically some big spectacle event. Like, I'm gonna fuck old dudes at the retirement home, or I'm gonna fuck kids graduating high school or college students. Right? Like, she starts there, and then she's like, okay, now we're gonna do 100 guys in one day. And then we're gonna do 1,000 guys in one day. Everything is a spectacle, and every time she does a stunt like this, everybody, including myself, talks about it. Right? We talk about it, and that's by design. That's what she's engineering. She's actually really good at marketing sex work. It's pretty impressive from a marketing perspective, because it's working and she's making tens of millions of dollars from it. And but she just lost all shame, you know? So like if you just cross that line of not giving a fuck, then you end up as Bonnie Blue. And she just said she's gonna be like X-rated fucking Houdini, bro. It's a big spectacle. It's a yeah, dude. It's a big event like that everyone's supposed to talk about. You know, Houdini started doing that shit. You do this thing, and everyone has to come and take a look, and then everyone starts taking pictures, and everyone starts writing it in the papers, and then everyone reads it and learns of this guy because he did like a big stunt, and that's what she's doing. They're all stunts. But like I guess at some point somebody was going to take it that far, and she did. She took it that far.
Sorry, should I sit here?
Yeah, I think Lily Phillips in fairness was like the first one to pave the way, but then Bonnie Blue followed swiftly. But I think Lily Phillips went first.
I'm sending it.
There
you go.
It's not about crying. You don't need to sit and cry that you fucked those guys. But there's a thing called shame, and we should probably bring that.
She doesn't have any of that.
Then I don't really see why people judge it.
Well,
Really?
they are judging you, yeah, because it is disgusting what you're doing. But that's just a fact. Again, it's not a judgment. I'm not.
No, that's your
it's
opinion.
Not my opinion. No, that's
opinion
a fact.
and facts are very different.
Yeah, exactly. My opinion is that I think you're actually a really pretty girl. My fact is that you are a whore and you are a prostitute. That's a fact.
No, that's where it ended. Oh, that's a great. Oh my god, bro, that is insane. So yeah, she's working on 2,000 guys in one day record. I don't even know how. Like, dude, we'd have to like math that dick, and you know, there's some dick math there that can be done. But we're not gonna
get carpet, man.
I don't know. Probably lots and lots of Astroglide. So Bonnie Blue brags about her plans to sleep with 2,000 men in one day, and be tied up in a glass box and open to the public. Oh, so I see. So she's doing the 2,000 men in a glass box in public. Is that legal in Europe?
Should I go to this? I don't know if it is, but I could go to the fucking.
Yeah, go to it.
Go to it.
Yeah, go see.
Oh my god.
Go see Houdini.
Oh
yeah, dude, you can't miss Houdini. Bro, imagine if you could have seen Houdini and you didn't.
Oh god.
Just saying, man.
And I've also added a video of like all the guys lining up, which you can look at if you want to.
No, dude, am I gonna get in trouble for that? What is it? What do you mean? Am I okay?
No, all the guys like lining up, like,
yeah,
and a mother comes in and takes their son out the line to get.
There's a new thing that you found. Oh, I see.
It's not new, but it's like something.
Well, new on the docket.
Yeah.
So this is. I'm not gonna get fucked for this. For showing this.
No.
Okay. Trust you.
He's coming. He's lost his coat.
Somebody's mom showed up to pull their kid out of the line? Are you fucking serious? What?
Yeah,
where's your coat?
She saw him on.
Where's your coat? She says. Where's your coat? She says. What? That's wild. What?
Where's your coat? Don't shout. Find your coat. Don't shout.
Get your coat. Let's go, young man. Dude, he's covered his face. Oh my god, he knows. Oh my god, bro. That guy's a ski mask in the back. These guys have ski masks on. They here to. Bro, imagine being that down bad. You're in line for Bonnie Blue. Oh man, that sounds so sad, bro. If you're in line for Bonnie Blue, you're such a fucking loser. No, dude, I gotta say, nah, dude. Like, I mean, unless there's some sort of like novelty, fucking disgusting reason. But even then, I don't know. I would never be able to look at someone the same ever. I'd always just see as the guy that stood in a Bonnie Blue line, bro. Oh my god, that is. What, dude? A mom came here to bust the son in line.
Where's your coat?
Where's your coat? Get out! What, dude? That's crazy. What the fuck? Your editor is in line right now, bro. We're gonna get him in line, bro.
Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting him in line.
Well, apparently that's what she's interested in.
Oh, yeah, you pay for it. Yeah, you want to you set up a fuck. Never mind. That is wild, dude. Well, hey, that's a good mom, bro. She saved her son. He doesn't know what she just saved him from. He doesn't know to appreciate it yet, but that's a good mom right there. Bro, imagine how ashamed you'd have to be as a mom. Like, she must have, like, imagine just being out there and then try and, like, where's my son? And, like, I don't know. There's a lot of defense mechanism. Don't give a fuck about anything. I'm here for my son. But it's just, like, internally, just imagine. That's got to be embarrassing. Oh my god!
Oh, that would be soul crushing. Like you're already there, and your mom comes to. You're getting ready for this, and your mom comes to pick you up.
Oh, okay. Well, I was talking about the mom's
mom.
perspective, but yeah, him. Yeah, fuck him, dude. Good for. Yeah, dude. They should be embarrassed. Stupid dumbass.
I mean, he had it coming, but that's so much aura loss. Like, it's already bad.
Aura loss. Here we go. Gen Z. Yeah, but no, you're not wrong. Yeah, no, it's that's total aura loss, bruh. Oh my god. $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Frantic Missy, dude. That, I mean, if you're close to London, so that's probably where you can do it, bro. I need to. We need to see.
Oh my
we need to see. We need to see the line.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. Stream marker.
Wait, you didn't do what's the in the glass box or the glass box video?
I didn't want. Oh, I thought I did. Oh, here we go. Okay.
I'm going to be tied up in a glass box and open to the public. You can choose to either get involved or just walk around, watch, enjoy the show. But yeah, the website is back up and working, so if you want to get involved, then please do.
Bro,
oh, it seems like a private event. I can't get involved.
No,
I just can't be that guy.
Bro, we need to send you there with a Bonnie Blue shirt. Bonnie Blue number 1 or some shit, bro. Number 1 whore.
Never live it down. Imagine if I was on that footage though, and it gets found by a future employer. Like, I'm done.
Bro, you're gonna go work for Mr. Beast. It's all good, bro.
He doesn't
give a shit. He doesn't give a shit, bro. He's fucking autistic.
Yeah, I suppose he had Chris working for him for a while.
Yeah, he had Chris working for him. He doesn't give a shit. All right. So what's this? The next one. Oh, right. Okay. Trump. Oh, he didn't. This is not his response to. Or does he respond about Ukrainian here at all?
Yeah, he does. This isn't the Ukraine one.
Where's the Ukraine one?
Is that in the Ukraine docket? Oh,
this one's on the Russia. This is on when I'm talking about Russia. Yep. No, this is the Boulder one. He responded to Boulder. That should have been in the Boulder section. That would have been good over there.
Yeah, it happened after the video though.
Should I just jump? I'll just jump. I'll start from here.
Yeah, jump ahead.
Because like, did Trump tweet about Ukraine? I swear I would have saw it. I don't think he did.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Yeah, he's not saying shit. He's keeping real quiet and watching the situation closely, I'm sure. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll start with this. So, Russia has responded to the attacks on their airfields, where Ukraine, like, very cheaply sent out a bunch of drones out of these semi-trucks that are hidden in there to go blow up all these fucking planes. And it's actually one of the most incredible attacks in recent wars. Like, it's actually pretty interesting. It's like Russian Pearl Harbor in a way. Like, they went and just destroyed a lot of their shit. I think it's like 30% of their air fleet or something like that. And the problem with this is that we're trying to have peace and try to end a war, but because of this, I'm pretty sure that is never, ever going to happen. I actually did think that maybe Trump had a chance of ending this war, but there's no fucking way that's happening now. There's no fucking way, dude. Like, it'd take a miracle. It would like, dude, imagine Trump actually does end up doing it, even after this. That'd be wild, right? But I don't see it. It's like, after this, that's pretty crazy. And so Russia has responded to this, but to basically recap what happened exactly. Here's a video kind of showing a drone and a Russian airfield.
Так файно виглядає зараз аеродром Білая. Стратегічна ворожа авіація.
And you can see all these different, all this smoke coming up. That's a lot of planes that were hit by these drones that are pretty cheap. And they have explosives on them, and they detonate on critical parts of the planes, making them basically completely destroyed. As you can see, there's just a huge amount of fire and smoke coming from that airfield. This might be one of the drones.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, wow. There's one of the drones. Yeah, they have like little, I don't know if we have a picture of one. Maybe there's one in here somewhere, but they're the, you know, those tips on like RPGs, like in Call of Duty, right? And you could like put it in the front and shoot it at, fucking bad guys. Well, they basically take those little warheads and put them on a drone and then just, the one-time use drone, bro. There's no respawn for that drone. Here's another video of one. See if we
Дрон
can...
взлетает из КамАЗа. Дрон летит, его сбивают эти. Летает. Цель будет сбивать.
It's a military attack that's going to be talked about for a very long time, because it's a crazy military attack from our era. It's still kind of dawning on me just how crazy of an attack that is. Oh yeah, here's a shot of the airfield from a Russian, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, dude, this airfield is on fire. Now, I did see some videos that have been proven to be AI and shit like that, but I think this thread is pretty good. We checked it out, not like super seriously, but we did scope through this and just kind of make sure that this isn't no shenanigans. Trying to see if we can find a closer up image. Oh, here's a video of the trucks with the drones coming out. This is what I'm talking about. Check this out. This is wild. Yeah, they fly out the top of these things. And they're controlled via fiber optic cables, so they don't get jammed wirelessly. So if they require wireless input to be controlled, that could be jammed. So in order for these things to operate, you have to be up close proximity. So that like fiber optic cable is just like really thin and long, and it can go, decent distances to go to its because they don't need it to come back. So they just need to send it, poof, crash, and it's all good to go. But yeah, there's like it's crazy the weapons they're using right now, and like how what the responses are to the weapons. So now also as a defense to even the fiber optic drones, there's like these spider web nets everywhere that they use to try and block the drones. And so it's it's very much like spiders in nature.
А нахуя мы работаем за рулем-то, блядь? Лучше он коптером управляй, нахуй, грузовая и все. О, блядь.
They're trying to shoot him out of the sky. Yeah, good luck. This is close.
С автомата очередь, нахуй. О, нихуя себе дела, блядь. Оказывается,
oh, there's another one.
Ёбаный, он опять туда полетел, сука, в эту гущу, нахуй. Вот еще один, сука.
There it goes. Wild. You can see it has a little warhead on it. That's nuts. There's some more close up here. Oh, this is one of the trucks. So not all the trucks made it to the airport where they launched this attack. A lot of them were destroyed. So I'm not sure, maybe they were like tipped off, like, before the thing, before everyone got there. So they stopped some of them, but it wasn't enough for the damage that was done. So the trucks, everything, they just have like if you think of cost of war, the brutality of it, like super small cost compared to the damage they've done over in Russia. And then, oh yeah, here's a really good image of these weapons. Here we go. So you can see they have like a little, basically like a grenade on it, and it's pretty crazy how crafty they've gotten with these. It's just interesting to me. Just being someone that, I was in Iraq. We didn't have any crazy shit going on like this. But yeah, it's interesting. So That's what happened, and it's such a big. Oh, here's here they are showing off the mechanism. So they hide them on the top of the truck, right, and then they fly out the top. That's crazy, right? So now all the trucks are like stopped in Russia. They're searching like all trucks. It's a crazy disruption. Not just the cost of like all of their war stuff, but like the cost of all their economy and roads being like halted, and then having like just it's hard. I bet it's really hard to be patriotic as a Russian when you keep taking L's, like this. So it's like
fighting really well.
Huh?
For the Ukraine are doing really well because like
they're
that,
doing
I mean,
with what they have, yeah.
That attack.
I don't think it's gonna last.
It cost like $6.8 billion worth of Russian equipment.
We'll see what Russia does in return. So they have responded, and this is what their response was. So this is who is this guy? You know this guy, right? Medvedev.
I'm pretty sure he's the Russian prime minister, but don't quote me on that.
Okay. So here's a statement from Russia. So we haven't really got much of a response from the Trump administration, but we do have a general Russian response, and this is what they say.
Oh, no, he's not.
He's not. Okay.
Prime Minister of Russia.
To everyone who is worried and waiting for retribution, it's right to worry. That's what normal people do. Retribution is inevitable. It sounds like fucking Matrix. But keep in mind, our army is pushing forward and will continue to advance. So everything that needs to be blown up will be blown up, and those must be eliminated will be. That's cold as fuck, bro. Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, that like Archie was telling me earlier. He's like, that's very Russian. That's some very Russian shit to say.
It sounds Russian.
Yeah,
it's very blunt.
Yeah, dude, this is some like 007 Soviet Russian shit. They're very blunt, very whatever. Just not really even crazy threats or anything. Just kind of like, no, we're gonna blow you up. I think I'm wondering if like Russia's just gonna start bombing the shit out of Ukraine, like way more than they were. I don't know. Were they holding back, or like what's the next move? I'm super curious. I'm worried for like World War III and shit. I don't know. Hopefully everything calms down at some point. But it's been a lot of years since this started. 3 years, right?
Yeah. Maybe longer.
No, longer. 3 years. 3 years is the 3 years since the Israeli thing, right? The invasion. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. Can't believe both these crazy wars started up. But here's those drone nets I was talking about. Check this out. Okay, we have to mute the music. But you can see these drone nets. Now this drone operator is flying around them pretty expertly. These drone pilots in Ukraine are pretty good at playing these things. They had a lot of good pro gamers from Ukraine before all this went down. So yeah, he's flying through the net. He's going under, trying to find a way through. Finds an opening right here. Goes to the opening, finds this car driving, and blows it the fuck up. That's wild. That's wild. Yeah. I mean, I was telling Archie because he's like, this is unfair. This shouldn't be allowed. I'm like, bro, I'd rather this than being like melted alive by some gas or like, napalm or something. So, I mean, this is you would think maybe an instant death. Still brutal, but man, that sucks. Sucks for them. What's this that we have here? Oh, right. So, Ukraine also responded. Right. So, and their response was to try and blow up the bridge to Crimea. Here's that video right here. There it is. So I guess it was an underwater drone. That's what they're saying. Which is interesting.
Underwater drone, bomb, underwater. No one. It's quite vague.
Yeah, vague. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's just too vague. But yeah, that's what's going on. Here's another video from that explosion. You can see pretty crazy. So their response is, we're gonna keep doing shit. That's their response. Russia's response, we're still yet to kind of hear. It's not very immediate. Like we haven't really like they didn't start like, I don't know, maybe I haven't heard anything, but they haven't like started like blowing up Ukraine yet, have they? It's
nothing extremely crazy.
Yeah, I think we're still
Ukraine
probably
all the time.
Yeah, nothing different out of the ordinary, so nothing extra. All right, shall I go on with these other? Let's see, Elon. Want me to do the Elon Musk thing?
Yeah, go for it. Oh, also, by the way, before you go on, I can't get the Twitch stream, so you might have to end and restart.
Okay, yeah, let me end the stream on Twitch real quick, guys. But everything else will continue. This Twitch stream will come back in a moment. I just have to do it so we can get a video. There we go. Yeah, I wonder what another method we can do to get this stream before so I don't have to end it.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way.
It used to be fine before. I don't know what's happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Never had this problem before.
Nope. So sorry for the pause. Just one sec, guys. What's up, Lily? I see you in the chat. Gunter in the chat. Legend. Munra. Vladimir. Prairie Dog. Big Smoke. Big Earl. Let's turn on some music. I have some somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh, over here. No, wait.
We care about the YouTube stream. It's just that we need the Twitch VOD so we can do a video.
We need we need to download the footage, and it won't let us download the footage unless I end the Twitch stream. So I'm just stopping that and then restarting it. I'm just waiting for Twitch to accept that it ended before I start another one, because it has like a preventative disconnect thing going on right now. So I just have to wait it out. I thought I had some music playing. Here we go. Let's listen to this. Some Zelda music while we chilling. Let's see here. Did it end yet? Damn, dude. Go. Taking forever to end. Disconnect, bitch. I was being very generous with that disconnection.
Huh? It always is.
There we go. All right, now I'll turn the Twitch back on. So that should allow you to download it.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if it will let me unpublish it.
Oh, do I need to hit publish? Or can you publish it?
Hopefully not. I'm seeing.
Yeah, if it's good.
Yep, all good.
Okay, cool. I'm actually I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll start the Elon Musk thing. So I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, now you're left to me. Dun dun dun. How's it going, guys? Everyone doing okay? Hopefully you're doing fine. No bad ailments in your family. Or any such problems. Through the bathroom. Yeah, he really should, actually. He should take his mic in there. Hello, Ben. Hello, Anon Amos. Hello, Earl Taylor. Hello there, guys. Had a tooth extraction last week. Ooh. That sounds like it hurts, but you probably got pumped up on Novocaine or whatever, so that's kind of fire. Spam, spam, spam. You love it, guys. Get the spam going, guys. Let's get the chat active. Spam. No, I'm kidding. Well, you can if you want. We don't mind here. We're quite lax on the chat rules. Everyone also, you guys, we are streaming the full screen stream on Twitch. If you guys want to drop a follow on Twitch, your name will come up on the screen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, sorry, selfless promo done for now. Hey, Jonathan Everhart. Where's the guy speaking? Lol. I'm in the corner of the room. You just can't hear. You just can't see me. Ibuprofen. Yep, I agree, man. I mean, ibuprofen was all you had for pulling out a tooth from a dentist. Hello, liberal editor. Hello there, frantic Missy. And if your 72-year-old husband is watching. England. That's what we like to see, Spice Life. That's what we like to see. No. That's my no. I know, right? British guy on the stream, guys. It's a novelty. What do you guys want me to say? Bottle of water? Hey, Jacob. How's it going? 100. Aluminium. I like fried spam and eggs. I've never actually had just spam and eggs before.
Should be. Good. Bro, I just took a huge beans and toast right now, bro. As it hit me, I'm like, bro, I better not start this Elon Musk story yet. I was like, I need to put on some music. You know, I was trying to be all sly, and then like, yeah, I basically almost ran the fucking toilet. All is well now, though. All is well. All right. Well, we're back on Twitch. Okay, Twitch kind of died off. But that's okay. Let's finish off the story. Let's do Elon Musk. Then we have the Twitch thing, and that's it. That should be good.
And if you want to keep going, you can. But if
Yeah, I might. Yeah, we'll see what's up. Let's start with Elon Musk. So, I didn't really realize this, but apparently Elon Musk is not very happy with the big bill that's being passed right now, the big beautiful bill. He tweeted this today, right? Yeah. Yes, this was today. Says, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." This is crazy. This like he's like the richest man in the world and has like almost up there with the most influence in the world. You know, he's like the world's greatest influencer on top of being like a billionaire and stuff. It's crazy. This is wild, bro. I wonder what's going on. I feel like something's going on. Something is going on. I'm going to do something off script here. I'm going to look at one of his recent tweets. And I think that he started going off. So we're going to look at some and see if there's any shenanigans happening here. Thank you for the $2 chat. Missy, appreciate you.
I think your second link is the tweet.
I just want to keep, I'm just on his actual page, just kind of going back where he said this, but did I pass it? I might have passed it. He's reposting a bunch of people. This is not Apple, Tesla, or even Nvidia. This is the U.S. national debt. That's a funny. Yeah, see, he was trying to reduce this. He wanted to be the guy who can like help with it, and he had an idea. Mammoth spending bills are bankrupting America. So he just sees. So in his perspective, since he's a money guy, he's saying, "Hey, you guys are about to spend way too much money, and it's only going to make things worse." I swear I saw a tweet while I was just taking a shit of him like saying he's going after people. Or he says this time yes year he said something. He says we're going to make them all pay or something like that. He might have deleted it. And in November next year, we fire all politicians who betrayed the American people. This is one of them. Maybe that's. I swear I saw something else that was meaner than that. Congress is making America bankrupt. It will massively increase the already gigantic budget deficit to $2.5 trillion and burden American citizens with crushingly unsustainable debt. Yeah, okay, so that I was wondering what he's like upset about. And this basically kind of paints that picture. I think we had, where was that one chart? We had one with a chart. Let me see if I can find that. It's in the docket. Maybe I don't have it. Is it underneath Elon's main tweet? No. Okay, there's this. Okay, let's just watch this. So he hasn't been very like vocal until recently. Here's a clip from him not too long ago. Him sharing that he's unhappy with what's going on.
I was like disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
I actually thought that when this big, beautiful bill came along. I mean, like, everything he's done on Doge gets wiped out in the first year.
I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it can be both. My personal opinion. I was like,
oh, interesting. Yeah, like it's a big, beautiful bill. It fits too many things at once. Yeah.
Oh, I was mute that. I think he's properly pissed because he was looking to try and make this year like a year where even the deficit goes down. Like those were his goals. And
Right.
he's had all this stuff put in the way of him not being able to like get down the amount that the government is spending. And now
Yep.
Trump's putting in a massive big bill. It's like adding an insult
Welcome
to
to
injury. Like,
politics.
he's probably feeling a bit betrayed and
Maybe
like
a little
shoved out
bit.
the door.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but like, you know, this is it's not as easy as he wants it to be. And I think Trump is he's learning to play the game way better than Elon. Maybe Elon's not done. Maybe he's still young, you know, maybe he comes back and tries again at some point with better ideas. You know, he seems to be the type of person who doesn't like things to defeat him. And he's been seeming a little defeated lately. And I feel like maybe someday he'll come back with some better ideas on how to pull this stuff off after he spends a lot of time thinking about the problem. I don't think it's leaving his mind. I think that this problem is only going to get stronger in his mind. I don't think we've seen the last of Elon Musk. He could wait out Trump too.
Yeah, he could. He's
the richest man in the world. Still young. He's got a lot of time. Think about it, guys. Especially I'm frustrated. I'm more of an Elon fan than a Trump fan, and I like Trump a lot. But I like Elon a lot more. I think he's way cooler. He's really getting things done that are impacting the future of the world in really big ways through his companies, more than any politician can. Even Trump, you know, nothing against the guy. I love Trump being the president. Okay, same thing. And then so now that Elon Musk has started to speak out against this big bill that he doesn't approve of because it's going to make the deficit higher, right? Here now the Speaker of the House, Johnson, has responded to this. So let's hear what they're saying. It sounds like a little bit of infighting, and sucks to see because it's my own side, you know.
Say this, it's very disappointing.
But they're not being rude like the Democrats are being to each other.
Okay, I've come to consider Elon a good friend. He's obviously a very intelligent person, and he's done a lot of great work. With all due respect, my friend Elon is terribly wrong about the one big beautiful bill.
So what did Elon say about it? He said, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it.
Tell us how you really feel.
Leaves the White House and then pulls the pin on the grenade.
Yeah.
Whew, there you go.
Brutal.
Crazy. Yeah, and he has a lot of pull, bro. Like, a lot of people listen to him because, it makes sense, bro. We can't spend all the money. Like, we need to spend less money. Duh. That's how balancing a budget is. Now, Rand Paul is more on he is more on Elon's side. So someone that's running alongside what Elon is saying is Rand Paul. You guys know Rand Paul. We're going to listen to like the first minute of this and see what he has to say. I think we pretty much get the gist of it. Also, we have Trump's thing. I'll just do it the way you wanted me to do it, Archie. I'm going to read it right here, even though it's blurry as shit. So many false statements are being made about the one big beautiful bill. This is what Trump's saying, right? But nobody understands is that it's the single biggest spending cut in history by far. There will be no cuts on to Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. In fact, they will be saved from the incompetence of the Democrats. The Democrats who have totally lost their confidence and their way are saying whatever comes to mind, anything to win. They suffered the greatest humiliation in history of politics. Here we go. This is why I love Trump, bro. And they're desperate to get back on their game, but they won't be able to do that because their policies are so bad. In fact, they would lead to the destruction of our country and almost did. The only cutting we will do is for waste, fraud, and abuse, something that should have been done by the incompetent radical left Democrats for the last 4 years, but wasn't. So they're saying, this is Trump kind of responding to Elon, but not directly. You know, he's kind of responding to the fallout of what Elon is doing and saying, and I don't know, I guess he's blaming it on the Democrats and stuff, but I feel like Elon kind of speaking out is not making things easier. Also, this was yesterday. So actually, after Trump put this out, Elon is the one who responded after. So this predates the Elon speaking out against it, which is interesting. So now I guess we have to wait and see if Trump responds to what Elon has said. This isn't a response. Okay. Let's watch
Elon's been speaking out about it for a while, so like it's still
but he's but he is like on war mode against it now. He's been kind of subtle, like this isn't a good idea, guys, kind of a thing. Now he's like, okay, you guys are fucking retarded, you know.
In a separate post, Trump said there's a false narrative about spending in this bill. He said it is, quote, single biggest spending cut in history by far. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul joins me now. Mr. Senator, I know you want more spending cuts included in the bill. Can you tell us what specifically you'd want to cut?
Yeah, it's even more than that. The biggest objection I have to the bill is adding $5 trillion to the debt ceiling. I'm actually very supportive of the tax cuts. I don't accept the CBO notion that the tax cuts will lead to deficits. The reason I believe there'll be more deficits is they're raising the debt ceiling $5 trillion. We know that this year, most of the Republicans, not me, voted to continue the Biden spending levels in March. So we're going to go through September of this year, and the deficit for this year is going to be over $2 trillion. If you're borrowing $5 trillion, that makes me think you're going to add over $2 trillion, maybe $2.8 trillion next year. So it doesn't show me that you've turned around. If you look at the spending cuts, it's complicated because it's $1.5 trillion. It sounds like this enormous number, but it's over 10 years, so it's $150 billion a year. They're also increasing spending for the military and for the border, $300 billion. That's actually more than all the DOGE cuts that we've found so far. So something doesn't really add up here, and I can't be on record as being one who supports increasing the debt by $5 trillion. I think that's irresponsible. The bond markets are already starting to show that they're skittish over this. We got interest rates of over 5% on the 10-year bond. There are real problems we face as a country, and we can't just blithely go on the way we have in the past.
Would you offer any kind of compromise? You don't want to raise the debt ceiling by $5 trillion.
I mean, I think he basically said it all right there, that it based on, if what he is saying is true, Rand Paul, and what Trump or what Elon is saying is true, then we're not saving money, or we're adding to the deficit. We're adding to the debt. So, I mean, I don't know. When it put simply that way, I did really want like the opposite to happen. To be honest, I want that. I don't want it to go up. I don't want to spend more. I want to spend less. That's what I'm about. But here we are spending more. Not a fan of that. This is a really interesting little tweet that we have that breaks down the USA budget deficit from 2000 to 2024. So here we go. So at 2000, we're at 236 billion. I'm just going to jump ahead 10 years. 2010, we're at 1.29 trillion. So we went from 236 billion in 2000 to 1.29 trillion in 2010. That's actually pretty wild. That's a huge jump. Let's go ahead another 20 years. So now we're going to go to 2020, and now we're at 3 trillion in 2020. That's wild. And then now in 2024, we are at 1.83 trillion. And then there's a note here, which I found really helpful for me. It says a budget deficit occurs when money going out, spending, exceeds the money coming in, revenue, during a defined period. And FY 2024, fiscal year 2024, the federal government spent $6.75 trillion, collected $4.92 trillion, and revenue, resulting in a deficit. The amount by which spending exceeds revenue, 1.83 trillion in 2024, is referred to as deficit spending. So, it does seem like we're not adding to the solution anymore. We're now working back towards in the direction of the problem. I mean, I don't know, it's pretty obvious we need to spend less money, and it's a damn shame that, like, I don't know. I do feel like Doge is not going around it's still going to be around, and I don't think we've seen the last of Elon Musk either. I do think that this problem is going to weigh in his mind, and he's going to keep wanting to oh, you told me not to play this one because it was like just dumb, right? Okay, I'm not gonna play that one. Yeah. And then this was something that Archie found that was interesting. So I guess Marjorie Taylor Greene says, full transparency, I did not know about this section on pages 278 279 on the OBB that strips states of the right to make laws or regulate AI for 10 years. I am adamantly opposed to this, and it is a violation of state rights. I would have voted no if I had known this was in there. And there's a funny response from this other dude. I don't know him, but he's Representative Eric Solway. He says, you have one job, to read the fucking bill. Here's the thing. I don't think this motherfucker read the bill. So I think he's just like winning political points. I don't think any of these motherfuckers read the bill, bro. Alexa, turn on studio lights. Yeah, I don't believe for a second any of these motherfuckers are reading the damn bill. They're just like voting and on whatever keeps them the richest. Honestly, that's what I think, bro. And whatever contributes to their career and staying rich, that's what they vote on. None of these motherfuckers read the bill. And I'm just gonna end it on that. What's up?
It was the final vote. Like as in, if she'd voted her vote the other way,
yeah,
then the bill wouldn't have got through.
That's funny as hell.
It was one vote.
Yeah, well, it's anyone's one vote. You can't put it all on her.
She didn't read the thing.
Nobody. That's the point, dude. Nobody read it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, nobody read it. So like you're. I think it's unfair to put it on just her. I don't think anybody fucking read it. Her tweet is just retarded because she's saying out loud like, I didn't read it, right? But you're not supposed to like make it obvious, okay? So since she was retarded and like, you know, accidentally self-exposed herself, some other motherfucker that also didn't read it is calling her out like, idiot, because that's how you win at politics. That's the game. This is the real game they're playing. They don't give a fuck. I'm ending it on that. Stream marker, next thing. Okay, we're on our last little story here. I'm not sure what's next. We'll figure it out. But this is a problem with Twitch, a reoccurring problem. There's a patterns here. All right, Twitch employees are so weird. All right, Twitch employees are so weird. And there's this video that went viral on Twitter of from this streamer called Jessica. Yeah, she's at TwitchCon in Europe, which I've always wanted to go to. I will go to one of these days. But she tweeted, Twitch crew members are there to keep people safe, not harass them. So now I know that Twitch employees are all weirdos. I have like no respect for any of them. I'm sure there's a few at Twitch that are like really good people. They think that the politics of their company is stupid as shit, but they're just like, you know, working somewhere they want to work at. I don't know. But there's a lot of just stupid. I don't know. Twitch is just, it's a big pile of shit. All right. They're all dumb at Twitch. That's what I think. It's a failing company, and they're not moving in any directions to fix it, and they're only making things worse with the dumbest stuff possible. And also, all their employees are like creeps, and they do weird shit. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I haven't watched the video yet, but I'm just assuming, I'm like, yeah, this is what something Twitch will do. You know, that doesn't surprise me, because I'll give you an example as to why. This happened years ago. Nobody talks about it anymore. But it says a Twitch employee was accused of sexual assault, no longer with company. There's this guy. It's funny. His name's Hassan. But he was an employee at Twitch, and he was basically using his position of power at Twitch to try and bang Twitch streamers, and it's super cringe. I wish there was a picture of this guy. They must have taken it off. Let me Google his name, because I always want to show this guy when I talk about him. Yeah, this guy, dude, you're such a loser. This guy's he hasn't tweeted in years. Yeah, see, when he got fired, he just quit the internet because he's such a freaking weirdo. Hassan Bakari. He's all, yeah, he was abusing a position to try and bang Twitch streamers and stuff, and like handing it, you know, using it as a means to manipulate, to get like, hey, I can make you a Twitch partner, you know, send me some fucking pictures, or, you know, he's just being weird like that, right? So Twitch has a history of it, which makes me kind of like, okay, what's going on here? But again, I haven't seen the whole video, so let's take a look fairly, even though we know that Twitch is weird. But we could fairly look at it and see if anything actually weird is happening and what the facts are.
Nice. I always wanted to date a woman from Canada, but I don't know if it's gonna be you yet. Who are you?
Jessic.
Are you famous? Are you streaming?
Yes.
Nice white teeth.
Thank you very much. So do you.
I'm becoming a dentist. That's why I will let you in with an iPad.
Where should I come back?
There.
Back here? Okay.
Together or not?
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. If that's where this interaction ends, and we still have more video to watch, if that's where this interaction ends, I'm going to say, bro, I mean, so far, it sounds like a dude shooting a shot. Okay? Because now she has said, nope, she's kind of like, she has obviously signaled, fuck off. This is, you know, now, even when somebody says fuck off, I mean, there might be a guy that's going to try one more time. I don't know. We're only like halfway through. So we'll see if this dude is going to continue to persist, even though she's signaled fuck off, then yeah, it's pretty harassy. Okay. We'll have to see what happens. But so far, persistent. Yeah. Not taking a hit a little bit. Yeah. But not harassment so far. But we have yet to see the rest of the video. But in my opinion, this first minute, nothing wrong has happened. And, you know, people fucking try and talk to girl. Like, how do you get a girl? You got to go talk to him. Sounds like a guy trying to get a girl, dude.
If you want to go inside, you can see me there.
Okay. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe he's just like that. And then he said, we're a cute couple. I said, like, I was almost certain when he came up to me he was my friend because he grabbed my back. So I was like, oh, this is definitely...
Okay, so did he grab her or poke her? Because when she was talking to him, she's like, why did you poke me? So if he had poked her, like, hey, I mean, you know, I can understand that can make someone uncomfortable, but like, hey, I mean, sometimes you're trying to get someone's attention. You know, I don't know. Is she just gonna talk about it the rest of this video? I thought maybe there was more from him.
Like one of my female friends, because I just got really touched. So I went, because I thought I was gonna see my friend, and then it's a staff who's saying we're a cute couple. Cool, man. He did this. He did that. You don't do that to a girl.
Okay, let me see what she's saying that he did, because, like, I mean, I'll hear her out on this. That is the weirdest part.
He did that.
If that's true, if he did that, that's crossing a line, in my opinion, for sure. To be honest, like, I know I'm kind of flip flopping here, right? But I'm just being honest. Like, I'm going through the series of events. I haven't watched this yet, so if what she demonstrated and he did, like, dude, I don't know. Maybe it's a European thing or something. I don't fucking know, but like that would definitely be weird for sure.
Do that to a girl that you don't know at all? You don't do that. I was like, this is my friend for sure. This is my good friend who is doing this to me.
He needs to flap his arms and screech at the top of his lungs to assert dominance. That's how you pick up women. Yeah, that's exactly how you pick up women. That's how I got my wife. Yeah, that's how me and Brittany met. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. And then I pulled down my pants and I just started going, you know, and we just made the magic happen. That's how we did it. Okay, so there's a lot of unknown here, right? So we only have to work with what's being said, what we saw on camera. I gotta say, hold on. I gotta say, if he touched her weird on her back, that's the most questionable thing that I see in this video. Approaching her, trying to get a girl's fucking number or something and flirt and stuff is normal. That's normal. And people who like spend their entire lives growing up online and they've never had to go like talk to somebody to get them to like them in real life, and it's all internet and shit, that they get weirded out by stuff like this. But yeah, so up until the now, and also when she was talking to him, she was saying, hey, why'd you poke me? Right? But what she demonstrated at the end wasn't poking. That was a completely different thing. So like I would wonder, like, why wouldn't she say, like, why did you grab me? You know, something like that. Just, I mean, I'm trying to be fair here and not just jump on this like into anyone's side. Of course, her chat and people in her community are going to jump to her defense. And, you know, that's kind of how it goes online with that type of stuff. I don't even give a shit about that. I'm just looking at it like what I saw in the video just looks like a dude trying to get a girl's number. That's what I think.
Yeah, if you look down at the comments, actually, it wasn't the only Twitch streamer that had a trouble with that guy. That guy was trying to get with everyone, apparently.
So, yeah, he's trying to get some bitches.
I met her in real life. Last Twitch.
Oh, yeah? Well, don't touch her.
Yeah,
or I'll fuck you up.
Streamer. Like an OnlyFans kind of girl.
Right on. I'm just saying, hey, this guy is at this event and there's pretty girls there and he's trying to get a number, dude. That's like normal shit. Now, if he's touching people, that's crossing the fucking line. That's true. She the way she behaved, it looked like he touched her, but it was a poke, according to what she said at the time. Why did you poke me? Then she said he was like grabbing her back. Like she demonstrated this grabbing motion with her hands that looks way worse than a poke. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe she started changing what happened, or maybe in the moment when she got poked or touched, she didn't know, she used the wrong word, you know, and then she meant to say like, "Why'd you grab me?" Or like she was just in such shock because of being touched in a certain way that's inappropriate, right? So I mean, I'm not trying to definitively say anything, but his behavior, other than like that one moment, seemed like a dude trying to pick up chicks, get numbers. You know, I don't know. He's trying to be a dentist. I don't know. We'll have to see. So apparently, now there's another point I wanted to make actually. So there's a lot of sensation. I kind of used some sensationalism to tell the story a little bit, but it was to actually make a point on how these things spread online and how like the narrative kind of changes. So, and I'm not talking about whether he was a creep or not. You know, that's actually a different subject. What I'm talking about is people are saying that it's a Twitch staff, but it ended up being that it was actually somebody who works for the venue and not actually for Twitch itself. So it's like a local that is working for the building that Twitch is renting out. So it's not an actual Twitch staff, but I was on guard because of people like Hassan here, right? Our boy Hassan, who used to do stuff way worse. So he had a position of power and he would pull crazy shit trying to pick up girls, but using his position, which is disgusting. So anyways, that's my take on the story. I wanted to cover it and be like, okay, hold on, wait a tick. First of all, you know, the way things spread, you know, yeah, sure, I know Twitch has a history, but also I wanted to watch the video and see, is it a dude trying to talk to chicks or is it a creep? And at this point, it's kind of unknown. I'm not really sure, but I wouldn't be surprised either way. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just some dude trying to pick up chicks. I wouldn't be surprised if it was some creep touching girls. Like neither one of those realities would surprise me one bit. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to end today's stream. I'm pretty much done with it. I think we covered a lot of stuff. We had a lot of fun. We had 150,000 people show up to the stream. Thank you guys very much. We had a lot of support from Frantic Missy. Thank you very much for the super chats. I appreciate you, Frantic Missy. And we had a lot of people showing up on Twitch, and we just had I don't know, it was fun. We had a lot of fun putting together the show earlier today with Archie. Thank you, Archie, for helping me out with the show. And yeah, do you have any final words you want to say before I get out of here?
Everyone have a good day.
It's nighttime.
Good night. Well, it's a day for me now.
It's nighttime.